Tauranga Whai, welcome along to Eventfinda Stadium on the North Shore of Tamaki Makaurau, Auckland, for the round 12 Sky Broadband Rapid League matchup between the Auckland Tuatara and the Tauranga Whai. And it is not ice cream weather, I'll tell you that much for free. In the 09 today, it was cold for the city of Sails, but it started to warm up nicely, and we're expecting some hot action in Rapid League this afternoon. Andrew Mulligan, Casey, Frank on hand, and kia ora, Casey, welcome along, and we're looking forward to what will be an interesting afternoon of basketball here.
First off, always ice cream weather. Let's get that straight first and foremost. And going to be interesting. The Tauranga Whai have been playing really good in the Rapid League. Just got that loss against the Giants their last game out, which puts that title chase a little bit behind them. The Tuatara, on the other hand, struggled early in the season. As the talent level of their NZNBL team is lifted, so has their Rapid League team playing much better as of late. You see them moving into 7th on the ladder with their recent form.
Yeah, you can just see the points for and against as well. That's going to decide the NZNBL ladder. That's part of the reason the Whai are doing well in the NZNBL ladder. They're winning games, but if they're losing games, it's the margin. They slow it down, and those are the results. And the game to come this afternoon, a big win for the Giants earlier this afternoon at Trafalgar Centre. And every point matters in Sky Broadband Rapid League. Here's the starting 5 for the Tauranga Whai. Jet Thompson, Xander Masters, Jaden Bazent, Jaden Boucher, and Dylan Brook as well.
Yeah, Dylan Brook has been playing really well, shooting the basketball. He's going to have an interesting time running the lane against this bigger, stronger Tuatara front line.
Yeah, Denham can stretch the floor as well. He's experienced. He's been at the Rangers, the Airs, the Bulls, Hawks, and now he's at the Whai. This is the 5 for the Tuatara. McIntosh and Wilkie. Zach Riley's back, and he's played every second of Rapid League since he's joined the Tuatara. It's going to be Ledger and Barrow up front. And here's how it looks head-to-head, all thanks to the Chemist Warehouse, the official stats partner of the NZNBL. Hasn't been a great Rapid League season for the Tuatara. It's been a little bit indifferent. They have picked up some wins lately, a lot like the Whai have.
And have been being a little bit more patient. I think the addition of Zach Riley has given him that true point guard that they were looking for. And the size that he brings as well on the defensive end enables them to just be a little bit more aggressive on that side as well. And for the Tuatara and this Whai squad, this Rapid League points are becoming extremely important, because I think they're all going to end up in a one big tie. And that points percentage may be deciding who is the team that actually makes the final 6.
And their City Edition uniforms for the Sky Broadband Rapid League. Going with the classic blue, the Tuatara. And we're away. Here's Zach Riley, spent 4 years at Fordham University in the Bronx of New York City. And he's back into the cold, hard streets of North Shore. And Ledger on the glass, gets the tip in.
Nice offense coming off that on ball. Zach Riley gets to his spot at around 14 feet. Can't hit it, but Josh Ledger, that size that I was talking about for this Auckland Tuatara front line with him and Nick Barrow, just wheedles his way underneath the basket, pushing Brook out of the way to get that tip.
Dylan Brook gives it to Bazant, and he knocks that down.
Really similar action to what we saw the Tuatara run. Bazant comes off that on ball, good speed, gets to that 14-foot spot. He hits the jumper very well. 2-2 the score right now in this Rapid League game.
McIntosh, the closeout was good from Bazant, and it stays with the Tuatara.
Ten seconds on the shot clock. Get that ball in the hands of Zach Riley coming off this down screen.
Ledger gives it to Wilkie, pull up. Can he get the roll? No, he can't.
It's like jump shots can only be shot from just inside the free throw line today.
It feels like it.
Mid-range is back, baby.
It is. I know, it never left.
Very true.
It just wasn't talked about enough. They fell in love with the 3-ball. Here's Brook, Denham Brook, fading off the glass. And good hustle by the Whai to get another look. Masters tracks it down, another offensive rebound
Lots of offensive rebounds. Good work rate by the Phi. Tuatara need to be faster to the ball.
Bazant.
Oh, that's tough.
That is tough.
That's just tough. Going to his left, shooting with the right hand, fading away. Takes the foul up there. Look at that, same foot. Right foot jump, right foot shot. Kiss off the glass for 2. The hoop, the harm, a chance for 3. If he hits this one from the Chemist Warehouse stripe.
Bazant played it. Phi, before that was at the Bulls, and previously the Jets. Had a stint in NCAA, Division 2.
It's become such a valuable piece for this Phi team, is influential in the NBL, last couple of NBL games for the Phi as well.
Oh, nice finish from Josh Ledger. That's good to see.
This is just a game of mimic. What you do on one end, we're going to do on the other.
It certainly is.
Hit the mid-range, come back the other way, end one. All right, we'll do an end one now. This time Josh Ledger puts it on the floor. Matt Lacey questioned that defense. Josh Ledger gets to the Chemist Warehouse, throws off the soft touch. Can he do the same from 15 feet away? He cannot.
Front rims it. Thompson. Masters right hand, left hand rather. Tuatara get the stop. Putting pressure in the backcourt. I like to slow the game down, the Phi in the South NBL. Pace is one of the slowest in the league, if not the slowest, and that's just good defense.
Dylan Wilkie a little confused about where the spacing was. McIntosh in the deep corner, and Riley at the top of the key. Was hoping for somebody to get to that wing when he got caught, with no room to maneuver. The Tauranga Whai defense transfers from the South NBL to the Rapid League. They are very disciplined.
Brooke. Ah, Denham Brooke knocking it down.
Oh, that sounds pretty. That is pure. That is a wet, wet ball dropping through that net. You hit one of those, you can expect him to let it fly next time he touches it.
Riley, nice work. Jet Thompson got him on the arm.
Excellent footwork. Used to the ball fake, getting to his spot. I mean, he's not a super vertical player, but he really understands where he gets to his spot. Really nice move. Look at that body control.
He might have got all ball. No, he got him on the arm.
got some body and the ball. Fouled him twice.
Chet was saying, I got him. I got on the ball, all of it.
You know, but it's not a lie if you believe it.
It's true.
One of the great things I learned from television.
Don't pull the curtain back too far.
No, I'm talking about just watching it. Jerry Seinfeld and George Costanza.
True. Josh Wiley's in the game for Tuatara. And Sean Murphy with the ball. He's in the game for the Phi. Right hand, fouled on the way in. Ledger got him.
Murphy's an aggressive player. He's just got a nose for contact, understands angles, has really helped the Phi on their NBL team as well. Second foul there, picked up for Josh Ledger.
There is a strong North Shore connection in this Phi team. They've got Matt Lacey, who was head coach of the Rosmini team that won the national champs in 17 and 18 with Sean Murphy. And they also had Jaden Boucher and Cruz Pero Hunt.
Just keep on naming them.
And
no, I think that's about the gist of the roster.
That is about it. But Jet Thompson, he's a Westlake Boys former player as well. And it's a 3-point Phi lead. So Matt Lacey using his North Shore connections to build a very competitive roster. And it's what is a fledgling South NBL organisation that's doing very well this season.
Well, nice move, Murphy. She's his strength in the post, right at Zach Riley.
Yeah, well, Sean Murphy spent 4 years in Division 2 of the NCAA. Also on that Rosmini team was Tane Murray. Spent 4 years at Virginia.
What a tip there by Ledger on the drive. Showing a nice nose for the basketball and a couple of these offensive rebounds. Phi playing with great speed on this end.
Here is Murphy again, kicking it out. Jet Thompson. Rebound is Ledger's. Zach Riley with the ball, giving it back to Josh Ledger.
Jet Thompson liked that, thought he had the pick. Was able to slow down the play, but leaving 3.9 on the clock. Tuatara will have to act quickly.
Liam Davis in the game for the Phi as well. 3 to go in this first quarter. Ledger, why not? Take it. He couldn't get free for Wilkie to get a clean look. So that'll end us for the first quarter. The Phi, it's a slow-paced game, 11 to 8 after 1 quarter of Rapid League.
Well, in that first quarter, the Phi able to get pretty active on the offensive glass in particular. Overall, got the rebounds, 5-4 advantage. Shooting 50% from the field. Both teams finding some good efficiency early on. Leading scorers, Josh Ledger with 6, Jaden Bazant with 5.
And you can get Sky Broadband Fiber starter for $50 a month for the first 12 months. And you can check that offer out at skybroadband.co.nz or ring 09525 5555 and then use your fiber to get yourself.
Let's talk about that buff chicken.
Large buffalo chicken pizza, $39.99, which is made from chicken, not buffalo. You see that Saturday Night Live skit. Use that QR code, sales basketball 25 valid until this coming Tuesday.
Well, first quarter obviously in the Phi's favor, outworking the Tuatara a little bit on the offensive glass. And able, I think most importantly, to slow down them in transition. You've seen that pressure up the court has forced the Tuatara into a half-court offense.
Back underway, the Phi with the ball. Murphy, Wilkie on him. Handing it off to Bazant. Right hand, can't get the fill, I can. Pretty nice, gets the roll.
Well, up to 7 points now. Aggressive on the rim, he showed the mid-range, he's been to the cup twice. Tuatara gonna have to send a little bit more help towards him.
Ledger had great position and took one to the face.
I feel like that's definitely a foul. I know Jet Thompson once again talking like there wasn't a lot of contact, but Ledger for the most part doesn't fake that one. Late shot, it was afterwards, not really in the shot, and hence why he's not shooting the basketball.
It was from Murphy. Kick ball from Jaden Boucher. Wiley. Ledger. Ledger taking the 3, big rebounds.
Well, with that spacing, Ledger on the outside was no space for Riley to get to his shot. Nice look for Ledger if he can hit it though.
Nice drop off. Liam Davis on the reverse is too strong.
Ledger loses sight of him out of that corner. Got to keep an eye on ball and man, but Tuatara let off the hook with a miss.
Wiley, part of the under-20s North Harbour team that came 3rd recently in the Nationals. His brother Chris made the All-Star 5 as Ledger's shot's too strong. Along with 2 Rams and 2 Hawks players.
Well, he's not quitting. He's just chasing the ball down there, guys. He hasn't given up because he missed a jump shot. Good hustle, good man.
Yeah, it's
bringing the ball back.
Clean player.
I mean, that's basic park rules. If you throw the ball over there, you got to go get it.
Yeah, you have to.
And he gets subbed out for his trouble.
He's going to walk all the way along the baseline to the bench.
Long, slow walk back to the bench.
McIntosh and Barrow are back in the game for the Phi. Jet Thompson puts the Jets on. Murphy to Masters, Xander Masters. Wilkie had it knocked away. And that will stay at that end with the Phi.
Slow pace here for the first minute and a half. The defensive grind is in full effect.
Well, in the South NBL, the Whai are last in pace, and that is by design. And that is nice from Bazant.
And you can go either way. Finished with the right a couple of times earlier. That time with the loopy left-hand layup. Really pretty finish.
Extend their lead to 7. Wilkie's 3 in and out.
Oh, that's a nice look, though. Riley drew 2 defenders. He'll take that wide open look for Wilkie anytime.
Oh, blocked by Zach Riley. Jet Thompson says he got fouled.
Oh, I thought that was, it looked like it was clean. Oh, I thought that, oh, they're saying 2 shots.
Well, they are saying 2 shots.
I mean, to me, that's a clean. Once you get the ball like that, any contact on the arm afterwards is pretty incidental. But he gets to the line anyway.
I guess Jet's case previously in the first quarter, he didn't get much of the ball at all. And he got on the arm, and he was called for the foul. So anyway, he's at the Chemist Warehouse stripe to shoot 2.
Well, it's the aggression on the rim. It gets rewarded, though. You're not going to get to the line if you're not taking your body to the cup. You're going to stay outside and shoot jump shots. You're just not going to get that whistle with the same frequency.
This is the second. Zach Riley in a world of trouble, barreling his way into the Whai defense and forces them to foul him.
Well, Jet Thompson's aggressively pressuring the basketball, but Riley's done a nice job of releasing the pressure on the drives. Getting deep in the cup that time. That foul wasn't on Thompson, it was on Denham Brook when he came over and helped coming across. But, you know, much the same, that aggression mindset to the cup is what it gets rewarded with that attempt at the Chemist Warehouse stripe.
He and Jet Thompson, Zach Riley, a little bit of cross paths in their younger playing days, surely. There's quite a matchup going on between those two in this game. Here's Thompson, picked up by Wilkie. And then this nice play to Murphy, who gets his own rebound. He stepped out, unfortunately, so it will be Tuatara ball.
Really nice execution. That's exactly the shot you want. Murphy lets that one bounce away on him, though. And Tuatara haven't had a lot go right offensively, just 10 points through the first 7.5 minutes. But if they hit a couple of threes here, they'll be all tied up.
Josh Wiley. Here is that matchup. Both born in 2003 are Riley and Thompson. Played schoolboy basketball against each other on the North Shore. Doing it again at Eventfinda Stadium.
Yeah, a little smack talk when they were getting into the gym as well. Wilkie was asking why Thompson was doing form shooting.
Bazant gets the roll. I love the way Jaden Bazant plays the game. He's always got a smile. Always got the game within the game.
Yeah, I'd be smiling too if I had 11 of the 18. Getting it going.
And Sean Murphy gets all of Josh Ledger.
Strong foul.
Strong foul. I felt that.
That's how you're supposed to foul. The effects mic picking up all that contact underneath.
I think that just came through outside of our effects mic. Watch this.
If you're going to come down hard. That's both arms. Josh Ledger. You don't have to sell it anymore. You already got the whistle.
I don't think he's selling it. I think it's legitimately sore.
Ledger doesn't get sore, bro.
He bangs.
Justin Bailey. JB. Quite the player. Used to have a flame, now assistant coach with the Tuatara. Oh, violation.
Oh, good. We've got to clean that up. Lane violation, people. It's a scourge on the game, and we have to stamp this out. It's ruining basketball.
That was Davis coming across, worried about boxing out.
Egregious. Knocks down the second, and that's the point that they needed. Here's Liam Davis. Jet Thompson to the cup. Gets the and one.
That's another successful drive, getting the contact. Jet Thompson turning on the Jets to boost himself to the cup.
Turns the corner, reach in, and then the bump from Wiley.
Love the way he cups that.
Both teams now on 3 team fouls. Jet Thompson makes that. Both teams have their BNZ player timeout available. 31 seconds to go in the half. Barrow was open. Here's Zach Riley.
Oh, it's unfortunate for the Five.
There's 3 guys went for that, and it's now going to stay with the Tuatara.
Well, Barrow caused that possession. His activity on the glass, everybody worried about him. Goes off a 5 jersey.
Nice cut. And
McIntosh wants no part of the paint.
Wisely says, I do not belong.
See you later.
Riley, can he get that to go down? He does. That helps the cause.
Well, missed the wide open one. Fine, need to take call a timeout. They let 5 seconds run off.
There is a lot of time that went off the clock there.
But until you have possession of the ball, you cannot call a player timeout. So the way that bounced around on him makes it a little bit easier for this Tuatara defense. And all thanks to the BNZ, you can get a ticket to the big game. Scan that QR code for a chance to win tickets. BNZ inspiring that next generation of Kiwi Hooper. And if you bring some groups to the thing, that Kiwi Hooper might just be in your group. See what the Phi have here. Marsters inbounding. I wonder if it's going to be a quick handoff and throw back to him.
Brooke has it. Handoffs to Jet Thompson. He goes for 3 from deep and left it short. And that's going to do us for the first half of Sky Broadband Rapid League. And it's the Phi with the 5-point lead here, 21-16.
Well, it's a defensive arm wrestle. The Tuatara held to under 40% shooting because of this solid 5D. It came out early. We saw the attacks on the rim, offensive rebounds key to both teams' fortune. They each had 4. Jaden Bazan, leading scorer in the ballgame with 11. He was doing it on the drive. The Tuatara found some drives of their own. The contact was fierce, the energy high. Josh Ledger on his way to a 3x5. He can pick up 5 assists because he's already got the points and the rebounds. Story for that Phi squad was all Jaden Bazanthos. 11 of the 21 points. He's 5 for 6 from the field. 1 for 1 from the Chemist Warehouse stripe, doing it on the glass, doing it with a soft touch at the back of the iron. Jet Thompson took a page out of that, found the driving lanes, opening up with a little bit more regularity. And together, Thompson, 4 points, 11 for Bazant, combining for 15. As we take a look at the percentages, there's the Tuatara, just 14 shots at 36%. Neither team able to find the range from deep, but pretty consistent activity to the free throw stripe. 9 rebounds apiece, and 4 of those for each squad are offensive, and it's those offensive rebounds and second chance opportunities that were key for both squads to tick over that scoreboard.
These 2 teams in Rapid League score around about 36 for the Phi, 34 on average for the Tuatara. And Phi actually doing the job with the scoring defense. They have a +4 point advantage between how much they score and how much they limit teams. And at the moment, they're right on track here, leading by 5 at halftime.
Well, what has been impressive in this game is just the 1 turnover through the first 8 minutes between the 2 teams combined. Doing a nice job against pressure of taking care of the ball. I feel like the turnovers are going to be a wee bit higher when we get to the NBL game.
They're really good at defending the 3-point line in Rapid League as well, the Phi, and they're getting the job done here. They're limiting the Tuatara, who aren't especially strong at the 3-point stripe from beyond it. 1 for 5 in this game. Back underway, 3rd quarter. McIntosh.
Good pressure, Bazant doing it on offense, doing it on defense. Got the Bouchers sitting in the Hollywood seats next to the bench over there.
That's good.
Josh Ledger's been really solid today, very patient. 7 points for him now to go on with 5 rebounds, 2 of those offensive, but I love that deep post position to get into the hook shot.
Kazan kicking it out. Son of Jada Boucher. This is that corner ball.
I'd like to see him shoot that 3 though. He's been a reluctant shooter this season. Nice to see him let it fly quickly.
Turnover. Major trying to do a little bit too much. And then they turn it over themselves. Zach Riley waits for the reinforcements. Here he is. Hudson almost snuck one.
I love it when they go back-to-back turnovers after me praising them for only having 1 turnover in the first half.
Zach Riley's 3 somehow just dies on the heel of the rim and rolls in.
I mean, that's really the only place you can miss it that long and have it turn out that well. Just right in the dead spot. Nice line, though, enables it to drop with the soft touch.
Masters off the glass with that left. That's pretty.
Well, it just gets to a spot. Nice exploratory dribble. The defense doesn't step up. He has the skill to get that finish.
19-year-old in the 2nd season for the Phi. That's his first bucket in the game. And Zach Riley. Arrow now has it. He'll flip it up and in.
Is that like a 180 hook shot? Doesn't often turn on the athleticism, but he did there to some respect.
Brook with a trailer 3.
Had an outlet there. Didn't take Josh Ledger long.
We're all tied up. Tuatara can take the lead here.
Punches in bunches by this Tuatara squad. They've lifted their defense and the offense is coming with it.
Barrow, head goes down.
Back-to-back buckets for Barrow. First the hook shot, now the mid-ranger.
They haven't led since the first bucket of the game. And then we've got an offensive foul, have we?
Riley and Boucher tangled up there. Boucher sets a nice screen.
It's not an offensive foul, my mistake. It's a foul on Zach Riley, however.
You're not allowed to just run through. And Zach Riley goes to the bench. This is the first rest he had in Rapid League this season.
It is. It's his 3rd Rapid League game, and he sits for the first time. Murphy looking to take the lead back with a 3. Gets the unkind roll.
Josh gets called for a push on Brook. Then Brook even says, I didn't call it.
McIntosh, the enforcer, down low.
Take a look at it underneath.
He's at the top of your screen there, Chris McIntosh.
Oh, might be on, if it's not McIntosh, I think it's one of the Wileys.
It's on Josh Wiley.
Oh, there's not a lot of contact there.
And then that came off Jet Thompson. The pressure from Wiley is good enough to disrupt the pass, and it's going to be Tuatara ball.
16 years old, I think. He doesn't mind getting his nose in there.
Here's Ledger. Sees a double. Wiley for 3. That's good. Josh Wiley steps into a 3. And the Tuatara lead is now 5.
Always nice to get that rhythm dribble on your first look. He's able to have that much time because of the post presence of Ledger on the kick out. Oh, that's clean.
Masters coming through there. It's fouled.
Push from behind. That's what's whistled. Nice grab with the ball, really making it tough on that. Yeah, see, that's the push called early, I think. That one there. Yeah, that first push or that second push, one or the other.
That one's given a 2 from Josh Wiley, rather, Casey. So it wasn't a 3, it was a 2.
Well, that rhythm dribble messed him up then. Worst shot in basketball.
Stepped right into it a little bit too much. Get your team merch with that QR code. Pick up some of these City Edition uniforms before they're gone. Now it's a 2-point lead for the Tuatara. Under a minute to go in the 3rd quarter here.
Much more efficient with the offense here in the 3rd quarter. They've been a bit more patient in the half court.
Wilkie. Airballs that one. Races the net.
It's online though. And then when you're a shooter, you don't mind missing short or long. It's when you miss left or right, when you know you got to get your eye in. But if you know it's short, just short, that's okay. Just put a little bit more mustard on that hot dog next time. She'll get the job done.
I can take the lead with a 3 here on N1. Here's Jet Thompson. Masters. Aaron couldn't secure it. Boucher gives them another life. Murphy with his back to the basket. Sent up as Wilkie. Barrow shows. Skip pass. Liam Davis ends up with it. Well, it's Wiley with the rebound. And he's going to slow it down a little bit.
Well, Ledger's got the mismatch. You want to get him in the post. Instead, they go to the mismatch on the perimeter.
Ledger pulls the trigger. Oh, there it is. 3-ball drops for Josh Ledger. Tuatara's lead is 5.
Look at the smile on Josh Ledger's face. The buzzer beater. He lets it fly. He's on 12 points now. He and Zach Riley, leading scorers in the ball game, 12 apiece. Look at Jed Thompson. He just says, I'm not even going to get in the screen. I'm not worried about that. Nothing but net. 3-point shot. Jess Ledger acts like he's doing this all before. The big shot for the Tuatara. Mentioned earlier, they haven't been shooting the ball great, but they are now 3 for 8 from beyond the 3-point line. The Tuatara came in. You mentioned how good they were at defending the 3-point line. They're getting some of their own medicine, as the Tuatara have held them to just 10% shooting the 3-ball today, and that's really why they've been able to come back into this ball game and grab control, holding that 5-point lead now.
Get your large buffalo chicken pizza for $39.99 using that QR code. Online code is sales basketball 25. You've got until Tuesday. Get your hands on that. Give it to Tuatara. Get a win here. Here's Dylan Boucher, son of Jaden Boucher is the son of Dylan in this game, and currently director of basketball for the Breakers.
What I appreciate about him sitting over there is there's some courtside seats that he's given to his parents. So he's taking the worst seats, put his parents in the courtside.
Oh, I see. Great work, Dylan.
Yeah, way to give it up.
Very generous of Dylan Boucher. Great to see the roster he's putting together for the Breakers. Masters gets that to go down.
I'd like to see him be a bit more aggressive. Hasn't had the ball in his hand very often. He's got the 4 points at the moment.
19-year-old, second season at the Phi out of Aotearoa Boys High School. Wilkie.
Great challenge.
Yeah, had to adjust it. And then Wilkie's going to pick up the personal foul as Jaden Boucher ran into him.
What I like about that from Boucher is he gets screened. Barrow takes him out on that screen. Oh, offensive foul.
Oh, it is an offensive foul. My mistake now. Jaden Boucher's like, what?
So he got those arms up and in. It's tough to be an official. It doesn't matter which way you make blow the whistle. It's going to make somebody upset.
To be fair, it could have gone either way. There was contact from both players, but...
It always can. It always can. That's the beauty of basketball.
Really affect the play that much, though, did it? Just in transition, but the foul was called and going the other way. Zach Riley, the muscle.
Why did Jed Thompson call that a flop? He's trying to call that... nice.
He's trying everything in this game. I love that about Jed Thompson. He is constantly talking at the referees about their decisions in a respectful manner.
Yeah, no, I mean, honestly, unfortunately for him, his temperament reminds me a lot of myself.
that is take that back. That is not fair on Jed.
Which is not. It's almost. It's more like he is just having a chat about it. But Zach Riley showed some nice patience, gets into the post, takes his time, uses that up fake, takes the harm, and then gets 2 from the Chemist Warehouse stripe. 32-27, now the score.
Jed Thompson dropping it off for Murphy. That's a nice play. A little strong, though. The ball is loose, and it falls to the Zant.
Nice fight for the basketball.
Nice steal.
Real tough angle there. You need to take another dribble, maybe look down the cup. There's so much help across that. Better off going to the perimeter on that case.
The floater. Riley misses that.
Really nice challenge late by Murphy. Otherwise, that would have been an easy 2.
Jet Thompson, too strong.
Barrow was guarding him, and Barrow was worried about the drive, so he backed up. Thompson took the space, couldn't hit the jumper. Time's starting to get a little tight now for the Phi.
Wilkie for three. Oh, that's clean. Dylan Wilkie, it's pretty when it goes in from Dylan Wilkie.
Love that rhythm he comes with. Thompson goes underneath. Because of that, he gives up that triple. He got to go over the top on shooters, as talented as Wilkie is.
Under 2 to go now. The lead is 8 for the Tuatara. Here's Bazan. Riley. Happy to slow it down, the Tuatara.
Yeah, I want to use up that shot clock now with an 8-point lead. Zach Riley got that Band-Aid under the eye courtesy of a head clash with Tay Hardy last week. Both players, I think, ended up with some stitches in there.
That was a great game last Sunday. Tom Vodanovic 3 gave the Tuatara the lead. With 3 seconds to go, and they hung on. Ledger, can he make it
back
to
the back
game? Oh, it's a wedgie. That is to great amusement of the Tuatara.
Jump ball should stay here. That should be Tuatara basketball.
It is.
And it hit the rim, so that should be a reset. That should be 14 seconds.
The wedgie. A rare wedgie.
The Tuatara are acting like they don't want the ball, though.
And then his double thumbs up.
It's a jump ball, guys.
Josh Ledger signaling the jump ball in the possession area these days comes into effect.
Gonna have to have a yarn with Josh if there's time after this game about the shooting touch he's displaying.
That's unfair because it's got the stroke.
It's a good shooting. Both of them are nice.
Yeah,
good looks.
Yeah, Josh Wiley getting free with the patience.
What a difference a half makes. The offense for the Tuatara so much more patient here in the second. Finding a lot of penetration and a bit more space.
Murphy off the glass, that's nice.
I love that left hand.
Not a lot of time left to eat into a 10-point lead. That's now 8. Cross-court pass to Zach Riley. 10 on the shot clock. Denham Brook picks up Riley.
Nice double.
Sees a double in the corner as well, but he gets it out. Dylan Wilkie's open, wants it. Oh, good recovery from Boucher.
I wanted to see Josh Ledger shoot another one.
Kick ball.
A foul, I think. Offensive foul. I think he's saying kick out on the shot.
I think you're right. It is. It was a kick out from Dylan Wilkie.
No.
Let's have a look here. He's wide open. And then the kick out there. Yeah, he tried to milk it. Nice call. Xander Masters is foul, taking a 3. Masters with the 3-ball. And he taps him up to Dylan Wilkie, who committed the foul.
Well, this game's not quite over yet. Wilkie comes across and swipes down. Can't really tell if he gets the arm from that angle, but that's what the officiating crew saw. He hits this.
It makes life interesting, Casey Frank.
It makes it a little bit more fun. Marsters, I like that aggression. Both teams in the bonus the rest of the way.
Left it short. Maybe there was a chance there for the Fire. They're pressing right now, and smart move from Zach Riley. Calling the BNZ player timeout.
That was a great trap. They were really aggressive with that, especially since it was off a miss. Quite often you see a team get a little confused in the defenses then, but well coached, they get right up and into it. Because of that player timeout by the Tuatara, you can scan that QR code for a chance to win tickets to this season's games. Time is running out. Only a few weeks left, so get in quick. All thanks to the BNZ player timeout.
Tuatara ball. Josh Ledger might have got away with a walk there.
Corner wide open, and Murphy eventually just fouls it.
Ledger took one to the face as well.
That's been happening a few times. He's laughing about it, though. You always got to wonder about those guys who laugh after they get hit in the face.
Yeah, Josh Wiley will go to the Chemist Warehouse stripe to shoot 2. It's going to be Ledger stepping out from the free throw line. Riley's good on the second. Murphy. His hand. Murphy.
Got a piece, blocked by Ledger.
They're going again. Brook with the rebound. Yeah, that should do it. The Tuatara survive. They do a great job. They win by 7 here. 39 to 32. And that's a good win for the Tuatara. They defended their home floor here over the Tauranga Whai. Justin Bailey and the Tuatara get the dub, 39-32. It's here from Josh Ledger, who is with Casey Frank.
All right, yeah, back here, just had a little bit of a short delay, but Josh got to show off the shooting touch today. What was with the confidence? It's about time we saw you shoot some.
Yeah, you know, I got 3 guys playing in front of me that are all tall blacks, so just coming with confidence, you know, turn against those guys. Everything else seems easy after, so Cam gives us the full confidence just to go out and play what we want, and yeah, just feeling great to play Rapid.
Tuatara playing a little bit better in the Rapid League lately. What do you attribute the rise to the change in form?
I think it's like before, like now that we're at full strength, all the trainings are it's just that much harder. So coming into Rapid, I feel like that we're just more prepared.
Well, nice win. Can't wait to see you in the NBL.
Man, thank you guys.
Congratulations to Josh Ledger and Tuatara getting the win, 39-32. Coming up soon at 3 p.m. local, the South NBL matchup between these two teams. We'll be all into it in just a matter of minutes. Stay with us here on Sky. Hello and welcome along to Eventfinda Stadium on the North Shore of Tamaki Makaurau for this round 12 matchup between the Auckland Tuatara and the visiting Tauranga Whai. Andrew Mulligan, Casey Frank, four-time NZNBL champion on hand for this one. And again, another great crowd here at Eventfinda for this one. And these are two teams who are fighting for spots in the six. And what we've seen over the last few days is that you drop a game, you're dropping multiple spots on the ladder.
Yeah, the Tuatara can move up multiple spots. If they get the win today, they will jump all the way to 5th with the change in winning percentage for the Whai as well. And the Whai, not only are they trying to keep touch with the top 6, but I think they've got an eye on moving up into the top 4 and getting a home court advantage in that semifinal game.
Well, it has been very interesting. We've got a game going on at the moment, and it's the Giants beating the Jets by 19. We turn our attention to that game there, and you think the Tuatara are going to get this game. 69% on the mixandpick.com poll. Use that QR code to have your say. Round 12 has been very interesting. Round 13 tips off next week, and we have just a handful of games remaining for some of these teams as well. Here's how it's been looking across round 12. The Saints and the Bulls got it going at the Franklin Pool and Leisure Centre. Saints getting the job done. The Sharks got a great win over the Airs, making their charge into the 6. The Whai took care of the Giants big time at Mercury Bay Park, Tauranga on Friday night. And then the Rams did a job on the Hawks at Rodney Green Arenas in Napier. The Airs took care of the Nuggets at the Edgar Centre, and we've got that game going on at the moment. It's a 20-point Giants lead with 2:40 to go on the 4th, and this one's coming at you very shortly. In a matter of minutes, the Tuatara, who are 7th in the ladder, going up against the Whai, who are 5th. You can see the Whai there, 7-7. The Sharks right behind them, trying to catch up to the Airs. The Jets, they'll drop a game most likely, so they'll fall to 8-6. Where that ends up, we don't even know. We'll let you know during the game as how the ladder works out. And there is the rest of the teams on the outside looking in. Huge win for the Giants. Keeps their slim playoff chances alive here as they're going to close out the Jets most likely at the Trafalgar Centre. But the Tuatara at 6-7 need to get a win here.
And it's really about wins for them, because with their points percentage, they're at 95. They're probably not going to win any tiebreakers. So if they do end up on the same wins as a bunch of other teams, which I think is a likely thing to happen, they're going to be in trouble, so they got to stack the wins together.
Mojave King, Denham Brook, and your starting 5 is Cruz, Pero Hunt, Bairstow, Rossetto, and Carter Hopoi, along with Mojave King. And that is the starting 5 for the Tauranga Whai. They are a relatively new organisation into the South NBL, and they have done a tremendous job. They are making sure that they're keeping their 6 hopes alive, and head coach Matt Lacey likes the way they're playing. He caught up with Casey before we went to air.
Coming in today's game, it's a bit of a finals matchup, really, because you're both fighting for that position in the top 6. How does your team approach it today, and what are you looking to get out of this matchup?
Yeah, I mean, the last two games have been good. I mean, it's kind of, we've been in finals play, I think, for a couple of games now. Obviously, the win over the Giants is pleasing, and you know, we kind of reloaded there for a minute after a few adjustments. So we're just kind of looking to build on the continuity of this group and continue to find, I would say, a little bit of offensive efficiency.
Speaking about reloading, the Tuatara reloaded themselves, a very potent offensive team with some of the new personnel. When you look at them, what are you hoping to limit to make it a successful day for the Whai?
Yeah, I mean, I think 2 things, right? Like, we know how good Muhammad can be, and he showed that with the Bulls last year. So we've got to slow him down for sure. He's early in offense, and got to take care of him. And then, you know, similar to the Giants, I'd say there's an offensive focus on the bigs, but this time it's some shooting bigs. So we've got to take care of them as well.
Dropping out the double box with the graphic pole as well. Got the big trucks on for this one. Luther Muhammad, Charlie Pride, and Boituach on the perimeter for the Tuatara. Tom Vodanovic and Rob Lowe up high, and how they will work with Luther Muhammad will be really interesting to see. If that name's familiar with you, it's because he was with the Bulls last season. Luther Muhammad, he was the MVP of the season, and how he operates with the bigs of the Tuatara will be a real game breaker for Cam Glidden, the head coach of the Tuatara, former player, now leading his men into this battle. He caught up with Casey as well.
Cam, there's been an influx of talent in the recent weeks, but it's still also in the middle of a finals chase. What's it been like trying to weave that talent into the roster and get wins at the same time?
Yeah, it's been great at training, you know, like seeing what Luther, Zach, and Dan Fotter bring to the team is really exciting. But it is hard, you know, trying to figure out the balancing act of when they go in, because we've already got a lot of talent here, and who kind of has to sit for a bit longer on the bench. But it's a good problem to have. I'm very happy that we've got that whole team in town finally, and looking to build this thing towards the end of the year and try to get one of those top 6 spots.
And to get one of those spots, you're coming up against the FI today. Important games against them today and in future weeks. When you look at what they do well, what's important for the FI or for the Tuatara to execute against this FI squad to try and take down that win?
Yeah, I mean, like us, they're pretty new with Anzac coming in and Mojave King. And both of those guys have probably been their main 2 players the last few games. So very different lineup for them, very different lineup for us. But they actually have a playbook very similar to ours. So I've told the guys, like, there's no excuses not to be great. We practice against this stuff every day. So I think if we execute right and we have a nice shooting performance from outside the arc for once in our lives, I think we'll be okay.
Cam Glidden, tough on the squad. Once in a life having a good shooting performance, but if you look at the stats, it's not that far off. You look at the last 5, a little bit better for the FI, a little bit worse for the Tuatara. The standings, not much separates them. Scoring per game, the FI, the lowest scoring team in the competition. But you look at the Tauranga Whai, the best in points against. Nobody scores less than they do. So that's an area that the Tuatara are going to have to keep that pace up to have success offensively. Those made threes pretty close. That field goal percentage, look how low it is for these squads. That's because they are last and 8th in 3-point percentage, and they have a high volume from deep. If they either find a little bit of activity a little bit closer to the hoop, could bode well for their chances in winning today's game.
Now, if you're into your advanced stats, pace is a number that gets thrown around a bit, basically takes into account how fast the team can score, how fast the game is handled from their perspective. The Tauranga Whai, by design, are the slowest paced team in the league, and they have been like that with Matt Lacey. Number is 78, and for the Tuatara, their tempo has risen. They were a little bit slower to begin the season, but once the reinforcements have arrived, Tuatara are now 3rd in the league when it comes to pace as well. You can see there how it's been going for the Tuatara the last 3 games.
Yeah, tough loss against the Rams. Remember, they did not have Luther Muhammad for that one. Their first game with Muhammad was against the Saints. They're trying to work him into things and then started to figure it out against the Bulls. And also, let's not forget that Rob Lowe's been hampered by that ankle injury. He's still not 100% just yet, but he's going to try and work his way through it. And how he's able to work his way through it against Anzac Rosetto today is going to have a lot to do and possibly decide who wins this ball game today.
Well, the FI, the lowest scoring team in the league, as you saw it, averaging just a tick under 81 points a game. Tuatara averaging just over 87. Offensive rebounds. FI really good on the glass, grabbing around about 11.5 on average. That's 3rd best in the league.
And then, of course, Sean Bairstow back into the lineup today. Had some, I believe, a back injury that kept him out. They brought him back in. From the Tuatara, I'm testing him early to see if he's able to stand up to the physical grind of what this Tuatara brings. They're getting ready to lay the wood, especially with Fotu coming in off the bench. This is a much stronger, taller team than previous incarnations this season.
So it'll be Carter Hopway and Rob Lowe to get us underway.
They're going to be coming out with the match day ball.
One current international player and Hopway, one former international player. The experience of Rob Lowe. Luther Muhammad, he's got his feet under his desk.
Oh, look at these ball deliverers.
Unreal.
That's not good ball security on the left, though. It doesn't even have a hand on it.
That's so cute. Love to see it. A little bit bemused.
I feel like this is going to be a scarring experience for those two.
Ready to get this underway at Eventfinda Stadium. It's 7v5. Tuatara against the visiting FI. It's Luther Muhammad with the ball. Badanovic had a go-ahead 3 to win the game for the Tuatara last weekend. And Rob Lowe opens the account with a 3 himself.
Well, you can tell that was pre-planned. He sprints right out of that screen, testing Anzac's Rossetto ability to get into the show and to the fade. He couldn't do it. Rob Lowe starts off the scoring.
Bairstow to Rossetto. Anzac Rossetto. Southeast Melbourne Phoenix development player, signed a new 2-year deal with them. Misses that. He's been really strong for the Whai since he's come in. Tuach looking to attack. Oh, that's great athleticism from both players. Tuach saying he got hit on the arm, and Carter Hopoi was right there with him.
Yeah, it was a good challenge, but it's all forearm. We'll take a second look at it. Well, that's a good smile from Dan Fotu. That second
Beautiful.
right into the arms. So you see, that's a lot of hand, a lot of ball.
Rossetto up high. Rob Lowe disrupting that. Here's Bairstow, the Australian. Sean Bairstow, the breakup, kicking it out to Pero Hunt, the former Tuatara player. Charlie Pride with the rebound.
Whai active on the glass. Their offensive rebounding percentage low in the year, but much better with Rossetto in at the 5 and Hopoi at the 4.
Muhammad, mid-range game, on point.
That's tough. I mean, he's just, I love his game. It's so casual. You know, he just gets to his spot so easily. Great challenge, but it did not affect the shot.
Yeah, it's fluid, isn't it? It has its own time. And Rossetto up high, looking for Mojave King to cut. Now it's Bairstow. A little bit hesitant. Nice cut from Carter Hopoi on the other side.
You gotta move without the basketball and that penetration. Timely cut, but a beautiful pass. Bairstow really showing a lot of patience and a nice touch on the pass to get it in there.
Tuach in deep. Gets Bairstow to go down with a shoulder. And Tuach, can he steal it?
And Pero Hunt pretty lucky to keep onto that one after the strong Tuach move.
Here's Mojave King. Dunedin born, Australian raised, holds New Zealand and American citizenship. As Rossetto goes to work on Rob Lowe, stands his ground, and it will be Tuatara ball.
Keep attacking Rob Lowe in the post, though. You've got to use that physicality of Rossetto to really test Rob Lowe. You know, had that injury that made him miss the end of the game against the Bulls, was struggling with the ankle before that. So you want to test him, see what his measure is, especially down there in the post.
Rob Lowe. Tuach looking to attack. And then the blocking foul is going to be called on Anzac Rossetto.
Well, Anzac Rossetto feels hard done by. It's like, I'm just being affected for being big. I mean, look at this. It's Tuach just dribbles right into him, really. And Anzac Rossetto is not going to move.
That is strong. He looks strong as well. Anzac Rossetto is obviously a big player, Casey Frank, but do you like the physical tools he's developed so far?
Well, you know, it's not just that he's developed it, it's that he's honed his body. You know, he's probably 15 kgs lighter than the last time we saw him in the league. He's a much more patient player. But, you know, there's not too many people that Tuach dribbles into like that don't get affected, much less get the elasticity of it, get it bounced back at you.
He's come from Germany. He's played in the Pro A League there. Anzac Rossetto, the Kiwi. He's come in and he's averaged 10 points, 6 rebounds. 5 won their last 3 games coming into this one.
But really influential in his last game out. Over 20 points in that one. Rob Lowe gets that foul.
Mojave King goes down. And Mojave King was a breaker last season, free agent. And he's played for Cairns and Adelaide in the Australian NBL, had some G League. He was drafted in the 2nd round a couple of years ago by the Lakers. He spent some time in Puerto Rico, and he's come back after being at the Breakers, Casey, from Puerto Rico, and he looks to have really taken that opportunity and developed some tools.
Especially compared to the last time we saw him in the competition with the Southland Sharks. You know, he's developed as a scorer. I think he's become a much more patient player, especially in his use of his athleticism, which is high level.
It's about 6'5", 6'6". It's Bairstow made to work for that jumper, and there's Pero Hunt doing work on the glass. Great offensive rebounding team in the league this season. The Whai, hot boy, checks his feet, pulls the trigger too strong. And again, the Tuatara have to fight to clean the glass.
Whai are getting a hand on every single possession. They're not relaxing on any of them. They are coming with that pressure on the boards.
Tuach. Finding Mohammed. Pulls the trigger, and that's off to the right.
The penetration against this FI team is tough to come by. They get you out of your offense.
They're quite long, Casey. They're big and they're long. Speaking of which, there's Rob Lowe just standing his ground and cleaning up. Look at the...
But that's just poor communication there. I'd love to see Charles Pride be a bit more aggressive there. You know, he started looking to hand that one off to Tuach or Muhammad. But I think there was a fast break opportunity there if the Tuatara would have just been a bit more aggressive, which you have to be against this FI team because they don't give a lot up in transition.
Mojave King and one. There is that athleticism and finishing in his toolbox, Mojave King.
Well, King gets the bucket, but that's created by Anzac Rossetto. Look at this screen. Completely takes Tuach out of the play. And look how much space he's created. Now Rob Lowe has to make a decision. Do I guard Rossetto? Do I guard the ball? He's caught in no man's land. Takes a swipe at it. That's why he gets the foul. Just his first of the day, but he will head to the bench for a couple of possessions.
Rob Lowe takes a seat. Dan Futu, and that great smile of his is in the game. Dan has been playing for the Gifu Swoops in Japan's Division 3.
He'll share a little bit about it when we talk to him later. Enjoyed his time in Japan.
What a great asset to bring off the bench. Dan Futu, tall black. In fact, his brother Isaac and his sister Ella, they played for the Tall Blacks and Tall Ferns at the same time. Talented Futu family. Mohammed with the right hand.
I mean, that's pretty bad. That little deke, and Matt Lacey's seen enough. He goes to the timeout. That is a 10-5 start for this Tuatara squad.
And Dan Futu, speaking of which, he's talked to us about his time in Japan and coming back to the Tuatara.
Dan, in your off-season playing in Japan, can you share us a little bit about that experience and how you enjoyed it?
Yeah, I love Japan. I love the fans. I was in Gifu near Nagoya, so it was really nice out there. The food's really nice, and I was by my brother too, so family out there. So I loved it, every second of it.
Leave it to you to mention the food. I'm glad to know that was one of the big pluses. But coming back to the NBL, folding your talent into this Tuatara team in the middle of a bit of a finals chase, not where they thought you would be. How are you integrating yourself into the offense to get this team up to speed and get that finals position?
Yeah, I'm just trying to do what I can. I'm listening to Cam. I'm listening to these boys, Tommy V, Rob Lowe. They've got experience. So I'm just listening to what they're saying, and they're pushing me to do whatever I need to do, and I'm willing to do it. So yeah, I'll do whatever it takes to get us into the final, the top 6 at least. So yeah, I'm doing everything I can.
That's right, Futu. Let them know, baby. Come here to get in.
What does Dan Futu bring to the Tuatara as we see the live standings there after the result in Nelson's Trafalgar Centre? 109-89, 20-point win for the Giants. So that drops the Jets with that L to the 4th spot. The Airs go up. The Tuatara in the 5th spot and the FI in the 6th spot.
That's based on the Tuatara result ending up like this. They still got a lot of water to go under that bridge before they claim this one.
That's as if the Tuatara finish as winners.
My man Zach Rossetto with Rob Lowe out of the game. I want to get on the post and impose my will on the block.
They want the walk to the Tuatara, but that's just excellent offense from Jaden Bazan off the bench.
How good is he playing right now?
He's so good.
He's really accepted his role, and he's excelling at it. He's not that #1 option he has been in years past here in the NBL, but taking advantage of the opportunities as they come.
Hopaway with the rebound off the Pride miss. Here comes Bazant again. Pero Hunt, right hand finish is nice.
Well, I love that response out of a timeout. Come out aggressive to the rim. Puts in Bazan. We get a little bit more speed offensively. Cruz Pero Hunt gets the benefit of that drive.
Vidanovic misses the 3. Muhammad, though, long shot, long rebound. Tuach. Tough finish. Got fouled, and Cam Glennon is adamant he got fouled, but it's going to be a foul on Mojave King. So it will be a foul called on him.
I just think some of the contact that sometimes the officials like, well, if he's going to make it, I'm going to let this go. But if it does force the miss, you see Mojave King moves over right into the leg there. Yeah, almost got away with it. But eventually, Orion Jones says, okay, I'll give it to you.
Tuach has played in the G League as recently as played in Greece, England and Australia.
And it's so important to this Tuatara squad. Lifts the level of athleticism, the penetration ability, and his pressure that he puts on the rim really forces defense to rotate over to him.
This is the second, but there's Dan Fotu getting an offensive rebound, then turns it over. Mojave King going straight at Luther Muhammad, and with the finish up by the rim there. Nice from the King.
That is quick. He put on the jets and attacked Luther Muhammad in transition. I love that kind of energy. Really what the Phi need and what he's brought to the team since his inclusion.
They've quickly tied it up here. It's 11 apiece. Muhammad was 6 on the shot clock. Maintains his dribble as he goes down. Now he picks it up. Fotu pulls the trigger. Good fight defense.
Murphy and Bazan have come into the lineup, and the defense has ticked up. So has the pace. You mentioned slowest pace in the league coming in, but with King, I think that rises a couple of levels.
Mojave King misses that, and it goes out of bounds. Tuatara ball. Sean Murphy into the game, number 32. And Sean Murphy, he's educated at Rosmini on the North Shore. Played for the Huskies in 2021, RIP, the Huskies franchise. It's what the Tuatara was born out of the ashes of. Spent time at college and university, NCAA at Division 2, and now he's battling Vodanovic down low, and he's kicking it out to Zach Riley, who knocks down the 3 off the bench.
Penetrate with the pass with the drive, force the defense to bend and get that kick out. A much higher percentage shot. You heard Cam Glidden talk about the inability to hit shots. Well, that's starting to change.
Good recovery from Riley on the Bazan drive. And that goes to the Tuatara, that loose ball. Rossetto will take a seat. Denham Brook off the bench into the game.
Yeah, you see that double team comes, Anzac Rossetto going down to help Murphy out. That creates that ability on the kick out. A response after a 6-0 run by the Phi.
Riley, Fotu, fall away. Too strong. Nice rebound from Murphy. Here comes Mojave King. Tough shot. Good defense from Vodanovic.
I thought he might have gotten fouled there. I thought he was out of his cylinder when he made that contact. King agreed.
Riley. There's Muhammad. Pull up, elbow, knock, sit down, money.
Only one mistake made that entire play, and Denham Brook just came off Muhammad a little bit early. Before that, 0 penetration, but it shows the skill of Muhammad. He only needs a sliver of daylight to get through that crack.
Tuatara with a 5-point lead. Denham Brook misses that 3. Wilkie into the game to the left of Muhammad, and good defense. The Phi in the backcourt. Pero Hunt felt like it came off Luther Muhammad, but Masters and Bairstow into the game for King and Pero Hunt for the Phi.
Well, the big lineup back in. Rob Lowe in the game, but Anzac Rossetto on the bench. If I'm Coach Cam Glidden with Fotu and Rob Lowe in the game right now, I'm trying to take advantage on the post. Can I get Rob Lowe a catch in the high post or down deep?
Fotu to Muhammad. Nice bounce pass. Fotu, tough finish over the top of Brook.
Really like the way the ball went side to side there, forcing that defense to rotate, and then getting that penetration with Muhammad. First with the dribble, then with the pass.
Nice kick out in the corner is Murphy.
A lot of
with the board.
Sorry, Moles, but a lot of trust by Lacey into his backups right now. None of that starting lineup is out there at the moment. Who's going to pick up the scoring rate for this Phi squad?
Wilkie knocked on the drive. And that's the 3rd team foul for the Phi. And that'll be 2 shots coming up for Dylan Wilkie. Himself a North Shore guy, and he's spent some time in NBL 1 in Australia. Fouled there by Bazan. Dylan Wilkie's coming to the Tuatara setup. It's giving them some good minutes off the bench. He's hit some threes.
Nice response from the Tuatara. Had that little run. Did the Whai, brought it back to even at 11, but that's been 9 straight since then. Now the Tuatara need to find a way to get the ball in the bucket.
Bazant up high, coming up on a minute to go in the first quarter. Bazant, Muhammad underneath him, and he knocks down that three.
Timely scoring from Jaden Bazant. He has been so key for this team off the bench. They desperately needed that bucket.
Rob Lowe just too big for Dylan Brook to cover.
Excellent recognition by Muhammad. Throws it really high. Rob Lowe fundamentally sound. Keeps it high. Then plays big to get the finish on Brook.
Masters, Xander Masters gives it to Murphy. The lefty pulls the trigger on the three. Off the heel of the iron. Zach Riley with the rebounds. Difference of around 2.5 between the game clock and the shot clock.
Well, this is going to be Muhammad. Ball in his hands. He's going to want a late screen from Rob Lowe.
Muhammad splits the double. Nice work with the on ball from Rob Lowe, but Luther Muhammad gets to the cup. He's got 6. Make it 8. That'll do us for the first quarter. Luther Muhammad and the Tuatara, they come off the floor at quarter time with a 10-point lead, 24-14, powered by Luther Muhammad's 8 points, 4 of 6 from the floor, and he is pumped. He's got 3 rebounds and 3 assists as well. Casey is with Denhambrook.
Denham, the Whai did a great job of coming back in the game, but a 13-point run at the end there by the Tuatara. How can you contain those scoring runs of the squad?
I think it's just our defense. We need to contain Luther. That's it. Out on the bigs popping.
Appreciate the time. Good luck moving forward. And we'll be back after this with the Tuatara leading 24-14 after 1.
Here we go. A couple of competitors here outside the boy and the girl. Oh, he's going to the Hips Warehouse. A little bit of air between that one. Our first one, our girl's got it. Nice. Let's see if we get a couple more. Up under the bar tube here. Off the glass potentially. Yes, gets another one. Brownish stroke there. Up the other end. Yes. Now this man here, he always says it's his birthday. It might be actually today, but we'll see. He's always trying to get free pizza. This time he's got one, but he's been beaten here at the other end though. Oh, right was to hit that one. Rock and roll, 2 each. You got 5 seconds though. We're counting them down from now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop it there. All right, a couple of pizzas each. We've got 3 at this end. And I believe 2 and Dodgy's end as well. 1 answer, 2 winners. Enough there for you and your whānau as well. NZNBL pizza still is available at all Sal's pizzerias across Aotearoa. Combination of the famous New York pepperoni, classic cheese, and delicious garlic nuts.
Welcome back to Eventfinda Stadium, no mai hoka mai. The Tuatara with a 10-point lead over the Tauranga Whai. Matt Lacey is kind enough to join us here on the broadcast, head coach of the Tauranga Whai. Matt, Luther Muhammad has 8 points, and he's getting some on-ball action with Vodanovic and Lowe. What's your philosophy in the coverage up high with Luther Muhammad?
Yeah, we're obviously trying to be aggressive, and so far we haven't executed that very well. And I mean, that's been our thing this season. So you know, we got to tidy up in terms of executing that and keeping them quiet.
Just 14 points in the quarter. How can you just uptick the scoring a little bit? Drives like that by Bairstow obviously help, but overall, how can you do a better job penetrating this Tuatara defense?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're doing a good job with their physicality, but ultimately, when we paint touch, we're collapsing defense and finding. So we talked about staying with that, and when we stay unselfish and move the ball, then we're getting quality looks.
Thank you, Matt. Appreciate your time. Rob Lowe
so steady.
getting in the bank to work for him. It's Hopoi, Carter Hopoi. Valparaiso signed with them out of Indiana College. It's Muhammad. Felt like he got hit.
I thought that was some hard on the shot from behind.
Cam Glidden wants an answer. He's not getting it. Mojave King operating with Rossetto. Fall away. Oh my. Mojave King, that is so pretty.
That really changes what his ceiling is offensively when he starts to hit with that with regularity. Such a powerful driver. But if he's in that mid-range, it opens up even more on the penetration because you have to respect that.
Can he be a powerful driver while also looking incredibly smooth?
Well, I mean, not many can. Not many can.
Because he has that ability just to glide around defenders as Rob Lowe gets the N1 the old-fashioned way with Rob Lowe.
Well, he thought he got contact on the last one, and he's just putting his head down and attacking. It's going to be a tough matchup for Anzac Rossetto because Rob Lowe understands how to take contact and sell it to officials while still moving. And Rossetto, such a powerful player. He's going to get mixed into that mix. That chess match between those two in terms of giving and receiving physicality is going to really be interesting as the day moves along.
Rob Lowe converts the N1. He's just quietly amassed 10 points on 4 of 4 shooting.
Not bad.
Pretty good.
Got an assist in there, a steal as well.
Rob Lowe, 16 points in the win over the Bulls last weekend in this same time slot.
Excellent verticality there by Lowe on the drive by Rossetto.
The cut wasn't there as Tuach turns it over.
That was a foul by Fotu.
Stan Fotu tried to stop the break. Hopoi. Oh, what a rebound. Mojave King.
Coming to play, baby.
That's smooth and athletic.
Man, he bounced up for that one. And then gets the finish through the contact of Rob Lowe. Mojave King up to 9 points here in the second quarter.
He's the son of Leonard King, former Tall Blacks player, brother Nuggets player. Involved in basketball as he goes down on that one.
We got one ahead.
Finish, and here's Rob Lowe. And he gets another bucket. Rob Lowe, 12 points, 5 for 5. They're just going to wipe up where Mojave King went down after his layup attempt.
Well, had that bucket not gone, that would have been a timeout to the Tuatara. But that turnover saved a little bit of spray for the Tuatara squad because Cam Glidden didn't like the way the offense was going there.
Just feels a bit rushed.
Speculative passes across. That's dangerous against this Phi team. They force a lot of turnovers. They're always in the mix defensively. They're not going to be out of position, so you have to be more deliberate with the pass.
That two's missed. Riley has it, gives it to Charlie Pry. Nickname is Sour. Love Sour Patch Kids, the candy. Here he is. Left it behind Fotu, but it's saved by Riley. Tuach in the corner. 7 on the shot clock. Backing down Besto, and it's just ragged at the moment for the Tuatara. Might pay to take that time out again then.
Just be a little bit too aggressive with these passing angles.
Rossetto on the rip through on Lowe.
Move. Better block.
Good defense from Lowe though. Luther Muhammad at the scorer's table, ready to come in.
The length of Lowe, just a great equalizer there, taking away the shot attempt.
Rob Lowe in and out.
He's feeling pretty good today. This is the most aggressive we've seen Rob offensively this season, I think.
Vidanovic will also check into the game. So will Sean Murphy for the Fires. Besto's 3 is short. Pride has it. Riley to his left. Run into the corner.
If I'm the Tuatara, if I'm Coach Cam Glidden, I want something in the paint. Let's get back to attacking the rim.
Tuach. The long arms of Carter Hopoi. Here's Mojave King on the open floor.
One man fast break.
Rossetto. Strong from Anzac Rossetto. Nice drop off from King as well. Timeout. Cam Glidden and the Tuatara.
Well, you love when somebody can grab that rebound, grab and go, start that break. It's so much quicker than the beautiful finish by Anzac Rossetto taking the contact. I mean, not the best athlete vertically, but able to hang in the air, hold that angle, get the kiss off the glass. Really well done.
Yo, it's not time to start making tricky reads, all right? We don't need that. If we don't have space, if we don't have our structure, get the fuck out, give it to our point guard and take that time. If we get a shot every time down the court, we win this game. If we start turning it over and they get out and run, we don't. So be smart. Get solid plays, get our space. We've got our starting point guard back in. I want to get second side and come back to Lou. And you guys are working in a circle. So whoever it is ghosting, the other one's getting out of there. We're ghost to rip. So Lou, you can get downhill. If you throw back to our 4, they're getting downhill. It's ghost to rip. I want to attack on the rim. Attack on the rim. Fellas, don't lose our way. No gambling. We got this lead because we're being solid. Let's go.
31-22, apologies for the language. A little bit spicy there in the timeout from Cam Glidden, but that's how we're afforded the chance to get in there and hear what the coaches have to say. You can win free fuel. Score your Waitomo Mula now. Use that QR code.
No apologies for free fuel, Moles. Everybody use a little bit of free moolah on the petty card, all thanks to Waitomo.
Kiwis fueling Kiwis.
Been doing it for ages.
Back underway, Luther Muhammad in the game. Out there with Tuach, Futu, Vidanovic and Pride. And then just falling apart. Mohamed King with a two-hand flush.
Pouncing. Just getting all across the basketball. I don't understand the discombobulation of this Tuatara offense. These passes are coming and guys are just no expectation for it whatsoever. That is just their, well, the 6th turnover of the game, actually.
That's 5 ball. Good covered defense coming across by Carter Hotboy, making life difficult for Luther Muhammad there.
The efficiency really dropping in the 2nd quarter. We take another look at Mohamed King bouncy. Watch out, might get your face caught in the net. Woo. What you got there, stuff?
Pero Hunt knocking down a 3.
Well,
that cuts the Tuatara lead to 27-34.
Sorry about that, Moles. That happens from the gamble at half court. The gamble there opens up that driving lane defense collapse. Wide open look.
Few empty possessions here by the Tuatara. Luther Muhammad, dead taxes and an elbow jumper.
Yeah, there's your answer. The offense is getting a little stale. Let's just give it to him and get out of the way.
This is the first time you've seen Luther Muhammad play. That's his game. Highly efficient half-court player. Again, the fight survived. So Hotboy, shorter player on him, and Muhammad is called for the foul.
Just love the patience there by Carter Hotboy. Young man gets that. Karam just comes to him, but takes his time, doesn't get intimidated by being guarded by PG, just puts the ball on the deck, utilizes his size, his ability to get vertical. And now a chance from the Chemist Warehouse to tighten this game to 4.
Carter Hotboy, 19-year-old, 6'7", averaging 11.5 and 5 rebounds. Just over a block a game as well. Bright future ahead of him. He's got a younger brother, Cole Hotboy, as well. Also a very good basketball player. Hotboy played in the Tauranga area and good defense on Tom Vidanovic with those long arms of his.
Yeah, gets vertical for the challenge. Strong move by Vidanovic. Well, that was an elbow to the face on Tommy V. The two going back at it a little physically.
Bairstow stands his ground and is called for the block.
Looks like he was moving to the side there just a wee bit. In transition, fantastic defense on the other side by Vidanovic. The way we rotated around from side to side, moving horizontally. Take another look at it.
And so it will be Tuach at the line, 64%, averaging over 18 points a game. Too strong on that one. Just looking at what's left for these two teams schedule-wise. We've got 2 games on the road. The Jets and the Saints do the Tuatara. They play the Jets again later on. They've got the Sharks, Giants, and Hawks.
Sam Timmons.
Sam Timmons in the house.
He's just trying to escape the cold, big fella.
The Phi, you won't believe this. This is the first of 5 road games for the Phi. They have one last game against the Jets at home. As they get a bucket on that one.
Mojave King moving without the basketball, making himself available. Up to 13 points on 60% from the field.
But it's probably make or break these road games for the Phi. Well, it might define their season. If they can get a win here, and stop Tom Bogdanovic down low. Increases the lead to 6. Tuach and Mojave King, that's 2 athletes running down that pass.
Tremendous defense and timing by Tuach there. Able to get a hand on it. Might be more impressive that he didn't go flying into the first row. That would have been more than you bargained for had you bought those seats.
So Phi ball on the baseline. It's Mike Lacey, Matt Lacey's dad.
Part-time dad, full-time writer. Keeping track of everything basketball in the Auckland region.
Vizant, Bairstow. Vizant for 3. Oh, nothing but net. Jaden Vizant with a wry smile.
Tommy V gives it back. Jaden Vizant is playing very well right now. That room is looking huge. Had a big rapid league game, and now 8 points on 75% from the field here in the first half.
What a privilege it is for the Phi to have Jaden Vizant come off the bench for them in that guard spot. Rob Lowe didn't quite have the release on that one, did Lowe? Went to the right. Here is Vizant with the ball the other way. They can tie it with a 3 here. They haven't led in the game. Bairstow spinning. And that stays with the Tuatara.
The shooting percentages are dropping precipitously for the Phi. 14 for 36 from the field, now sub 40%, 25% from beyond the arc. Just need to find a way to crack that Tuatara defense with a bit more regularity. But despite that, only down 1 bucket.
That's the thing about the Phi. They average almost 31 3-point attempts a game. Just looking at them now, and they're 3 for 12 as the ball goes out of bounds, and Rob Lowe is frustrated he couldn't get the call there. But they average, that's 3rd equal with the Tuatara in the league on attempts, yet their 3-point percentage is sub 30.
They're playing the volume game, and I think it'll get better with Mojave King and Anzac Rosetto. They have a bit more gravity to space out for those shooters and give them a chance to find room.
To be fair to the Phi, they've made some roster moves as well. Obviously, Rosetto and Mojave King coming into it as Mojave King is called for the foul on Bogdanovic.
Well, he fouled him twice. He fouled him once down low, and then fouled him again down up high. Wasn't quite thinking he's straight up, but the angle down there where the shot's going up for Bogdanovic, really nice recognition of who's guarding him and what he's able to accomplish out of that. He's up to just 2 points on 3 shots for Tommy V right now, but he really has an effective game in other areas that hit the stat sheet. His physicality, his presence off the ball as a defender. Tuatara now 70% from the stripe, 7 for 10 from the Chemist Warehouse today.
Matt Lacey was head coach of Rosmini. Had some great squads. Tate Murray, Jaden Boucher, Cruz Perro Hunt, Sean Murphy, champs in 17 and 18 in the high school nationals. Runners up at 19 as well. Mojave King can't get that to go down, and here comes Luther Muhammad. Tuach to his left. Stutters. Gets it to go down, and 1.
The entire Tuatara jet bench jumping up and down for that contact. Beautiful move in transition. Look at the hezzy. Freezes Cruz Perro Hunt. Comes to the right, takes the contact, the hoop, the harm. A chance for three the old-fashioned way. Tuatara, a little response, and Matt Lacey, king of using the timeout to stop a run, uses one here to see if he can't finish this quarter a little bit more strongly than the Fire currently playing.
40-33, the Tuatara with a 7-point lead.
Popping here, okay? We're going there, Cruz, Mo and Sean. And hold instead of dribbling Anzac Jonas, catch it here. Allow that pin down to happen. We're trying to turn that corner. Okay, does that make sense? All right? So hold that catch and playing that corner. If you don't get it, circle back out because we've got this coming to JB. So we're in punch instead of dribbling, just let the pin down play. Does that make sense? Okay. Keep asking questions. As we say, aggressive here. JB, tough all the way. We got Cruz on the field behind. So while we say aggressive, we still see the ball. Okay? Keep moving, keep finding passing windows. We're good. Shot goes up, jab. Okay? Here we go. Finish on three. 1, 2, 3.
First 15 college rugby's back on Sky. What a great matchup that is in the 04. Wellington College, St. Pat Silverstream. And that's coming to you from noon on Wednesday afternoon, live on Sky Sport. So it's Luther Muhammad at the line. Got 12 first half points here. This is that. 5 with the rebound.
Minute left here. A chance for either team to really grab momentum by stringing a couple of buckets together. Tuatara can try and put this game to bed early. Fi can get right back in it.
Rosetto swarmed by the Tuatara. Perro Hunt. Muhammad directing traffic now. Excellent operator in the half court is Luther Muhammad. Looks to Cam Glidden. And they want to call a BNZ player timeout.
I think Luther forgot the play. I think he forgot the play.
I think that's why he was looking at Cam Glidden. And he just went, oh, man.
I think he was trying to set everybody up there and just realized I do not know what we're running. So they used that timeout a little bit early, but they will. I think that shot clock's going to come back.
It's been a couple of weeks since he's joined the team, but Luther Muhammad's still learning the offense. He can score you a ticket to the big game by entering through that QR code. We'll flash it up when the Fire call theirs or before the end of the game when they get another opportunity to call a BNZ player timeout. You get one per half. Can't carry them over. 30 seconds for the player to talk about it. No subs in on the dead ball situation. You can advance it up to the half court, so they get a 14-second shot clock. And
really impressed by your knowledge of the rule.
And no coach involvement.
Yeah, just so everybody knows, he's not even reading this off. This is straight memory.
I've called a lot of basketball with you. I listen, I learn. I learn every day, every game with you, Casey. Perro Hunt finds Mojave King, challenging Lowe. And Lowe wins that battle.
Lowe really doing a nice job of contesting without fouling. Even though he's bringing the physicality, he's forcing that miss without getting that whistle.
Danovich off to the right. Rosetto, he calls their BNZ player timeout. So we'll get the opportunity to put the QR code up again for you.
Called a little bit early, though. 17 seconds on the clock. That's going to leave a 3-second differential, but it does give you a chance at home to scan that code for a chance to win tickets to this season's games. All thanks to the BNZ player timeout. You too can get a ticket to the big game, but time is running out, so act fast to see if you can't get sidelined to one of our upcoming fixtures.
Three-point shooting hasn't been a strong feature of this game. Both teams combined to get 23 up. But the Tuatara only have 2 of 10, and the Tauranga Whai is 3 of 13.
Coming into the game 8th and last in 3-point percentage. Not a surprise. Both teams like to get it up. They love the volume, but need the execution.
Here's Mojave King. Clock winding down. Tuach on him. Kicking it out. It's Murphy in the corner. Who wants the rebound? It falls to Rossetto. And that'll do it for the first half. Anzac Rossetto gets a cheap one. Perfectly positioned was Anzac. And he closes the gap on the Tuatara's lead to 5. They lead 40-35 here at halftime at Eventfinda Stadium. And Casey's got Mojave King with him.
Mojave, that first half at times, the Phi really finding some room in transition. How can the Phi find a little bit more opportunity there where it's a little easier to score?
Yeah, I think we need to do a good job on the boards. I think that's when we're at our best, when we're just getting out and playing fast. We got a lot of good athletes, and that's how we want to play. So that's what we're definitely going to try to do more of in the second half.
Defensively, you guys are such a tough squad. The Tuatara had a couple of runs, though, where they found success scoring 10 points here and there, stringing it together. How can you stop those runs a little shorter?
Yeah, they're a good team, and they're fighting for a playoff spot just like us. So, yeah, we need to lock in on the defensive end, communicate, play together, and yeah, I think we'll be all right.
Appreciate the time. Good luck in the second half. And I've got Rob Lowe coming over here right now. Rob, you looked a bit more aggressive offensively in that first quarter than I've seen you this season. Was that just what the game was coming to, or was that a decided mindset thing?
Yeah, you know, it's just what the game's coming to. I always play how the game comes, and you know, I felt like I had an advantage down there. But you know, second half we'll do some different things. Felt like they got too many offensive boards that half.
Phi getting a little bit of activity in transition, not something they're normally known for. How can you lessen their effect in that area?
We just need to be better about that, communicate better, and get back better.
Appreciate the time. Good luck in the second half.
Well, Rob Lowe and the Tuatara walk off the floor with a 5-point lead. It's 40-35 here. Stay with us after the break. We'll have a look at the numbers for you. Welcome back. Tuatara, Luther Muhammad going over the plays. Perhaps the one he forgot out of that PNZ player timeout. All respect to Luther Muhammad, he's an excellent player, great point guard in the league. The MVP, the reigning MVP of the league as well. And the Tuatara have a 5-point lead, Casey Frank, 40-35. What did you make of that first half from both teams?
Arm wrestle, like we expected. These are two solid defensive teams that have really limited the options of their opposition. A lot of solid fights for the glass, not a lot separating these two teams, although the Tauranga Whai were able to get 12 more shots on the rim in that first half, which is an impressive discrepancy in the possession game.
Andrew Mulligan, Casey Frank on hand for this one between us. We've got 4 Sal's NBL titles. Mojave King went to work for the fight. He is an athlete. His skill set is improving every game, and he has been a force.
Well, they were missing a score, and having him fall in their laps has been so integral to this offense. What he can do above the rim, you see how he changes things with his verticality. In transition, they really didn't have a threat in transition prior to him coming along, but with his speed, he can get out, up, and above the rim. I love his aggressiveness. 12 shots. That's more than twice as many as anybody else on the Whai squad.
The Tuatara have grown a great fan base here at Eventfinda Stadium, and they signed a great one on Luther Muhammad.
And he's instantly lifted their ability. You know, there's a little bit of worry when they lost Dave O'Hickey. Who can we replace him with at that same level? Well, fortunate for them, Muhammad becomes available. So good with the basketball, and not just as a scorer, as a facilitator as well. I don't think he's super familiar with his teammates yet, but he still had 3 assists in that first half, equal team high. 10 shots in the first half. That's the most on the Tuatara squad, and he's able to hit at 60% because of great penetration and excellent decision-making.
Fight. It's tough sledding when it's come to the field goals, just 36%. But the 3-point shots hasn't been falling for either team.
Yeah, but you look at the shots on goal. 42 shots for the Whai, just 30 for the Tuatara. And that discrepancy in possession, over the course of the game, that starts to even out. That's because the Whai forcing turnovers. They've got 6 offensive rebounds as well. And you add that together, that's where that comes up. And it's a math game at that point. If they can keep doing it, they're going to reel this Tuatara squad right back in.
Let's give it up for these two because
Oh, the Tuatara will have the lead when they resume the game, and after the break we'll hear from the Whai's Cruz Peroi Hunt, a former Tuatara player himself. Back soon. amongst the action for the Tauranga Whai. Former Tuatara player himself. And he's averaging just under 16 points a game. The Tuatara with a 5-point lead here at Eventfinda Stadium at halftime. 40-35.
These first few minutes are going to be interesting. Where the Tuatara are going to go try and get offense done. Haven't seen a lot of the starting lineup in that second quarter. See if this Whai team can impose their will in the game a bit more often.
Bogdanovic using that strength of his.
I think they've targeted that matchup a bit on Carter Hopeway in the post. They've looked for Bogdanovic a few times in there, asking him to use his strength and veteran nous against the young fella.
With all due respect to Tom Bogdanovic, he's got old man strength.
He had that when he was 17.
Yes, he did. Too much. Too high for low, way too high for most people.
Well, nice job by Rossetto to get to the body to take away his ability to chase it.
There is Rossetto, nice look too, and Zach Rossetto.
Doing some sewing because he was threading that needle right in between the defenders. Nobody sees it except Rossetto to get the finish, cut the lead to 5.
Rossetto from the Allison family, Ricky Allison, his uncle, 3-time Super Bowl winner with the San Francisco 49ers. Dad and uncle played for the Māori All Blacks. Related to Jacob and Tamati Allison. Pero Hunt left it on the front of the rim, but gets it back. Gets the roll.
Tuatara not doing a good job of shutting down the defensive penetration right now. Too deep there, and then to give up the rebound afterwards. Not what you want to see if you coach Cam Glidden. 3-point game, Fire executed at a much higher level this first couple of minutes.
Luther Muhammad crossing up. Carter Hopeway puts it off the glass and in. That's pretty from Luther Muhammad. That's that time, that's that pace that he plays with.
It's patience, all patience. Yeah, I have to be so steady there to have a bigger player, make him deke it out and still be challenged. Lovely Peterson shot making.
Harvey King just cannot get much going when Rob Lowe's in front of him. Again, Rob Lowe just in the middle of everything defensively for the Tuatara. Bogdanovic stepping into Bairstow, gets his own rebound. Can't get the finish, but he's got that second jump. And it's just not falling for him. Great work from Bairstow to stay in the fight. Hopeway. Here's Bairstow the other way. Rossetto. Nice from Anzac Rossetto.
How about that offensive flow? How many hands did that go through? You love to see that type of unselfishness. Lots of guys had open looks, but they went for a better pass each time. Ended up with a great look for Rossetto down in the post.
Bogdanovic contested 3.
This Whai defense is really forcing the Tuatara in the shots that the Whai defense wants them to take, not the shots that the Tuatara are hoping to create.
Bairstow dropping it off for Rossetto, who's fouled.
I just love the presence of Rossetto and what he's added to this team. They were just sorely lacking in that strength and bone marrow up front. He's got both of those from spades. 8 points on the day now, 3 rebounds. But his ability to bang bodies with Rob Lowe to make things tough on anybody who drives, that doesn't show up on the stat sheet, but it sure does take its toll as this game goes along.
Rossetto missing that.
Just the 4th free throw attempt for the Whai on the day. Just not a team that gets to the line with a ton of regularity. Free throw rate 7th in the competition at 27%. And this time he misses them both. 2 for 5 from the Chemist Warehouse stripe are the Tauranga Whai now.
Muhammad. Whai never led in this game. It's a low-scoring affair at Eventfinda. It's Bairstow lost the handle.
Well, he's hoping that Muhammad was going to respect his little shot fake from 3, but he just dropped down further, didn't give him any space to create with that little spin.
Riley in the game. Off the glass, tough from Zach Riley.
Bear still made it difficult. He challenged that well. He's got a lot of size on Riley. But that's just a nice shot high off the glass, just giving it a chance to get in the bucket.
Harvey King,
Beautiful.
listen, the defense.
Man, he lost some defenders up high, can't get the finish. Now the five back on defense and transition really well, stopping that two-out drive.
Rob Lowe's fouled. He'll head to the line to shoot two.
And I think that's what the Tuatara have been missing this first few minutes is some cutting from the weak side. Really dependent on the on-ball right now, but a little bit more movement will create much better opportunity for this Tuatara squad. Got to get that first and second cutter coming through. And there we see Ryan Jones celebrating his 200th game as an official in the Sal's NBL today.
You heard it here first, people. Casey Frank giving flowers to a referee.
Hey, any official who's willing to listen to the noise pollution these players put out during games for 200 games, tip of the cap.
Lots of drag.
Myself included.
Congratulations, Ryan.
Get up, Luke, get up, Luke, get up, Luke.
One of the best to do it. And Zach Rossetto looking for the handoff to Bazant. Steps back. Rob Lowe with another rebound. That's rebound number 5. Muhammad. Oh, left it right in front of Lowe. Rossetto did well, but it's Dan Fotu on the weak side, just pushing down Carter Hopwood.
Man, he has been doing some work on the glass today. He's had limited minutes, but his effect has been really palpable because of what he's doing on the glass.
He's got 5 rebounds, Dan Fotu off the bench. Hopwood. 7. Bazant, high arcer over Lowe. Left it short.
There's 5 rebounds for Fotu, by the way, in just 12 minutes. That is exactly what you're looking for. You're maybe the best. If you can get to 1 rebound every 2 minutes, that is a ridiculous rate.
And Zach Rossetto has to sit. He's got 4 fouls with 5:02 to go in the third. Yeah. Troubling times for Matt Lacey's big.
That's really going to affect this Phi team because he is the only player that can really affect Rob Lowe. They're going to go with Murphy now.
Dan Fotu lost that matchup with Carter Hopwood, but he missed the layup. Tell you what, he and Bogdanovic are just taking it right into the chest of the 19-year-old Carter Hopwood and just seeing how much he can withstand. Those are 2 big shoulders to try and defend as he gets around Fotu on the reverse. Unlucky, but it's Murphy hustling on the offensive glass. The Phi, one of the best teams to do it on the offensive rebounds. They got 6 to shoot. Hopwood, corner ball, left it short. Lowe gets it.
That was a great defensive possession from the Tuatara. A lot of communication, a lot of switches out. I love the way the guards were forcing the bigs into more productive matchups for their own team.
Skip pass to Tuash. Besto with it. Can play the point forward role. Drops it off for Murphy. Again, the presence of Lowe just disrupting the Phi offense.
It's the long arm of Rob Lowe, that 7-foot wingspan makes it a lot tougher.
Muhammad. I tell you what, whoever put the effects mic on in that end done a great job today.
It sounds like my dream seeing that ball hit.
Offensive foul. Sean Murphy called for it. Timeout, Cam Glidden and the Tuatara.
Well, another unforced turnover there. That's number 5 for the Phi. The Tuatara up at 8. But the Tuatara doing a much better job executing over these last couple of minutes.
Whoever the Harvey's garden is going to get out here. We're going to hit that. He's going to be up and in. I want you to rip. I want you to rip. If it's you, go base. Yes, baseline rip on the Harvey. Shooters here. Might be you. Baseline rip, then go get the shooter. but I want an attack on him. He don't want to foul. After that, when we advance the ball, play change with Dan. I want Dan change. I want one man cutting in. Back to Dan. Dan going downhill. Hey, he's got about 6 rebounds in a row. Don't expect that. Everyone go grab them. Everyone, let's go.
All stats courtesy of the Chemist Warehouse, the official stats provider of the Sal's NBL. 49 to 41, Casey. That shooting percentage is dropping down for the Tuatara. You can win free fuel. Score with your Waitomo Mula now. Use that QR code to enter. T's and C's apply.
Might just want to have these two teams do a free fuel contest on three-point shooting, because combined they are 5 for 29 from the field right now. Both teams doing a really nice job of staying wide, but still limiting penetration. It's a hard-fought game. We heard Coach Lacey talk about it earlier in the pregame. This has a finals feel about it, and both teams know they need this win.
To watch. Harvey King back in the game and picking him up. Great closeout. That length and athleticism. Those are two long, athletic players. Mojave King wins that battle that time. Bazan. Tapero Hunt gets it back. Got the mismatch. Doesn't take low on. Brook. Corner ball 3. Falls to low. Just bends down, picks it up.
My question for here in the Tuatara is, why is the ball not going in the post? Get the ball to Rob Lowe or Dan Fotu in the post right now. You've got an advantage down there. You need to be able to use it.
Now it's Lowe operating up high. 4 to shoot. Zach Riley to the cup.
Oh, that's lovely action. That little double curl. First the handoff, then the handoff and the screen at the same time gives Riley that wide open lane that Denham Brook can't contest.
Pero Hunt cuts the lead to 8 for the Tuatara.
Oh, he really brings that action back to the body of Mohammed. I think Pero Hunt are pretty fortunate not to get a whistle for creating that contact, but a good shot nonetheless.
Here's Mohammed.
Mismatch.
Riley for 3. Knocking it down. Equals their biggest lead of the game at 11. 2:06 to go, timeout 5.
5 straight for Zach Riley. First does it on the drive. And then the recognition by the Tuatara. They have the mismatch. They go to Fotu in the post against Bazant. Double team comes, and Riley does the right thing there. He realizes that Cruz Pero Hunt's not playing him. He's playing the corner. So he gives a little pass fake, shoots it up with a lot of confidence. He's having a big effect on this game for the Tuatara.
So whoever Wilkie is guarding, that's where you are. JB. Okay, so that could be you, Cruz, or Mo, depending on who Wilkie's got. Okay, kick it, backdoor cut. Okay, get open here. All right. Hey, we don't want a sitter because it's not a post catch. Okay, so when we go an elbow here, come off the early exit. Early exit. Okay. If you don't have that because of Wilkie, flow into the zoom. Okay. Hey, we got to be tidier here, right? We don't weak that, and then we get a 3-ball wide open. Are we listening? 5 and 3. 1, 2, 3.
Matt Lacey in the fight. Need a win here to solidify their top 6 standings. This is how it looks. The live standings right now. If the Tuatara win this game, they'll move up to 5th spot into that top 6. The Fire will drop down to the 6th spot. The Airs have already gone up to 3rd by virtue of the Jets losing earlier today by 20 to the Giants. So they're down into 4th, and the Rams have pretty much wrapped up that top spot.
Oh, Saints are knocking. Or are you just trying to do the reverse jinx for your hometown club?
I hope so. It's pretty hard to catch a team that's got 2 games in hand over you and only lost twice, as Mohammed can't get the layup to go down.
Had plenty of numbers, they just couldn't get the bucket.
And then Bazant gets the bucket at the other end. Who's your game MVP? Use the QR code. Currently it's Luther Mohammed at 50% of the vote. And Luther Mohammed's a good shout. He's got 14 points, 4 assists and 4 rebounds on 7 of 14 shooting. Wilkie in the game.
Long possession,
down to 4.
Much.
Excuse me, Casey, down to 4. And we've got a foul, and it's an offensive foul. Dan Fotu takes down Jaden Bazan.
Yeah, I didn't see the action. I was watching the pop out, take another look at it. Fotu. Just a bit wider than you need to be. When you're setting the screen, those feet get outside your shoulder. That's technically you're out of your cylinder, especially when you have those elbows up high. And Fotu's got the strength that he doesn't need to get his arms in there. He can just set those screens with his chest.
Only 5 players have committed fouls for the Tuatara, all with 1 each. And the only person in foul trouble is Anzac Rosetto. He's had to sit out the rest of the quarter after picking up his 4th. Hoffoy to Mojave King. Minute to go in this 3rd. Oh, Mojave King, my goodness.
I'm looking at possession. I didn't like it. There's no penetration, nothing happening, but King just makes the shot to cut it back to 6. It was starting to look ugly offensively, but one make will make it a lot better.
Muhammad finds Fotu falling out of bounds.
That was beautiful. I mean, he was looking for the shot the whole time, had absolutely no angle. Excellent job by Fotu to make himself available.
Sometimes you need a guy like Mojave King who's just a shot maker if your offense isn't working.
Not sometimes, all the time.
Too much.
If you got a guy who can just make buckets, makes offense a whole lot easier.
About half a second differential to wind down the 3rd quarter here for the Tuatara. Under 10. Now it's 5. Muhammad going at Murphy, crosses him up. Mojave King will grab the rebound, and that'll do us for the 3rd quarter. And it's the Tuatara still with this lead here, 56-48. 8-point lead. Luther Muhammad is with Casey Frank.
Luther, the Tuatara to make a little bit of space there at the end of the quarter. What's the difference offensively in that level of execution to close things?
I still feel like we ain't 100% executing our offense. So it's all about, like, I guess, piggybacking off the good things that we did in that that quarter, and just staying consistent. It's all about defense, I feel like, right now. Right now, we got to play better defense.
Appreciate it, Tom. Good luck in the 4th quarter. And we'll be back after this with the Tuatara leading the Tauranga Whai 56-48.
Now for the win. First one in. Oh no, what's happened? The girls winner. Well done. It's so flat up there. Let's hear it for hardcore scooper. How tight is it in the girls? Yep, I think you're stuck in it for the rest of the match there. Julia will take us to course the NZNBL promo code, which is now unlocked. Chuck this up on your phone for tomorrow, for Monday, the 9th of June at your local South Pizzeria. The promo code Auckland Dinner, one word there, Auckland Dinner. It's a buy one, get one free.
Kia ora, welcome back to Eventfinda Stadium. Cam Glidden, head coach of the Tuatara, joins us now. Cam, Luther Muhammad talked about defense to close this game out. What did you talk about at quarter time there?
Yeah, we've had a couple chances this game, I think, to put the game to rest, and we just haven't done it. We haven't been solid. We need to just be solid and realise why we've got this lead is through good, consistent play and not go away from that when we get a nice little break.
The Whai today, Moles just pointed out to me, Cam, that they have 48 points, but 14 of those are off of turnovers. What can the Tuatara do to do a better job of not being affected by that Whai defense creating those opportunities?
I mean, I don't think we've taken any bad ones, but when we have turned it over and when we have missed, you know, some long rebounds that got out and got some easy layups, and trust me, I'm frustrated, I'm pulling my hair out, but I think overall we're playing the right way, so we just need to be consistent.
Love your work. Thanks for your time, Cam.
Thanks, boys.
I love it how he says we're playing the right way right as his team turns the ball over.
10 is the lead, 58-48. Nice hesitation, step through by Luther Muhammad at the other end. Casey, just further to that stat you threw out there, 14 of their 48 points from turnovers. You add second chance points to that, that's another 9. That's 48% of their offense are from turnovers and second chance points.
Oh, we see a lovely move there by Riley, gets the N1, but that's because this FI team, they're fueled off of your mistakes. They don't beat themselves, but they will let you beat them. As we see the foul there by Murphy on the ground after he went to the deck, reaches out. And when you hear about those kind of stats and you know what you're doing offensively, that's got to drive you crazy that you're letting them in the game because it is just off your mistakes. Offensive rebounds as well can go in there. They've get 9 of those. This FI team just so solid. If you let them hang around, they'll let you beat yourself.
Just quietly, Zach Riley, he hasn't missed.
Putting together a game.
He's got 13 now. He's 5 for 5 from the floor. He's 2 for 2 from 3. And now he's 3 for 3 from 3.
The only guy for the Tuatara team who hasn't missed yet today.
Another turnover this time. Muhammad has it. Leaders, the biggest it's been all game. Just a correction, he's 1 for 1 from the line, and Zach Riley got the M1.
2 for 2 from 3, though. That's impressive for a team that's at 3 for 14 overall. Make it 4 for 15.
Luther Muhammad's having fun this afternoon on the North Shore. Timeout 5. The game is getting away from them. 64-48.
Well, you heard the way that Luther Muhammad was talking out of that time at quarter time. It's not them, it's us. It's our defense. We're being affected by them. We haven't scratched the surface of what we can do, and a couple of possessions of better execution has them in great stead. What's the answer for Coach Matt Lacey and the FI?
Mo, Carter, okay? I want you to get high, right? You guys are taking the wings, okay? Sit on the elbow. So if the ball comes here, take the wing, sit on the elbow. You're swiping and recovering. Swiping and recovering. If it goes top, take it. If it swings, top and recover, because someone's coming. Someone's always going to come, okay? To you, Mo and Carter, right? Offensively, I want to play a little bit more full middle. If we get caught up here, pitch it, pace, pop. Does that make sense? Okay? We got to get back to zooms, punt, hit tag, if we're in cook, go full middle. Okay? Hey, we need a 2-3 minute run, we're good, okay? 5 3, 1, 2, 3. Here we go.
64-48, who is your game MVP? Mojave King stealing the lead away from Luther Muhammad, your man on screen, with 60% of the vote right now. Highlight plays from both those players. Just 2 in the running currently.
Man, and for my money, probably not enough ball in the hand of Mojave King. He's got 16 shots, but hasn't had as much volume here in the second half. Tuatara doing a much better job of limiting his catches so he doesn't get those chances in the half court.
Besto, and 1. Nice work from the FI. Anzac Rossetto back in the game as well. It's now or never for the FI. They need to make a run here.
Miscommunication there by Fotu on that one. That's a switchable play there, and he thought he was just trying a little hedge, a little show. Opened up that door, that front gate, and let Bearstow come right down the lane. Those are the opportunities the FI need to create more of. Nice job by Bearstow getting himself involved, but hasn't had a lot of ball in hand today. He's set the shot, he's only made the 2.
Dan Fotu picking up his second. Wilkie, contested 3. Besto. Up ahead to Bazant. Hopboy. Mojave King. Zero wants it. And Dylan Wilkie just threw him down to the floor and helps him back up. He's going to be called for the foul.
Good choice. If you got the big fella in there, just pull him down. See if you can't chop that tree down. Wilkie says, I'll pull back.
It's good to see from Wilkie. Helping him up.
Also interesting to note that Anzac Rosetto's back in the game. Coach Lacey's targeted this. We have to make our move now. We can't wait any longer.
He's going to have to be really good on those screens, those on balls. He's a big body, Anzac Rosetto. Bodies will feel it. He doesn't want to pick up a cheap foul on a screen. It's Mojave King turns the corner. Oh my goodness! He challenged Rob Lowe and he couldn't get the call.
Love that attack though, love the mindset. He's got to get back in the game, can't worry about the call.
Hot boy knocks down a three.
But even missing that kind of shot, that lifts your team. That kind of energy gets in the building and it pulls the air out of this crowd. They got real quiet. Five making a little run.
Lead back to 11. Rob Lowe going at Rosetto. Got him on the arm. Got away with it.
Could have been 5. Instead, it's going the other way.
Heads up play from Tuatara and Rob Lowe. Zach can't get that. Muhammad streaking ahead, waits for his teammates to arrive in the half court.
Heads up play. You've got the 11-point lead. You need to be patient. You don't want to force things. Little zone.
Oh, nice work. Look at that. Beautiful from the Tuatara there between Lowe and Verdanovic.
Moving off the weak side on those high post catches. Nice catch. Watch the defense collapse on him. And Tom Verdanovic gets that cut down, has a beautiful seal with Hopoi behind him. Gets the whistle. 13-point game now. Tommy V trying to reach 9 points if he hits this one from the Chemist Warehouse stripe.
Tell you what, one wrinkle in the game here for Cam Glidden and the Tuatara. They haven't got anything out of Tuach and Charlie Pride here. The two imports, they combined 1 for 7. Tuach with 5 points. And he's going with Dylan Wilkie and Zach Riley off the bench. Lowe gets all of Anzac Rosetto's attempt there. And as soon as I say that, Tuach ready to check back in the game.
Beautiful block by Rob Lowe. He is having an effect on things defensively. That's his second of the ball game. He also has 9 rebounds, 5 assists, and 13 points.
Muhammad slips, gets back up. And it's Pero Hunt called for the foul.
Did a little Globetrotter-esque slide dribble.
Sends Tuach into the game, recalls Wilkie to the bench. Lead is 14. It feels closer, but the Tuatara done a good job here in the front half of the fourth quarter.
How about this defensive performance by the Tuatara? 53 points through 3.5 quarters. This 14-point lead might as well be 1,000 right now, just because the Phi are really struggling to manipulate this defense of the Tuatara the way they'd like to. Still plenty of time, they could catch fire, but they need to find a way to make this defense adjust to them, not the other way around.
Mojave King taking matters into his own hands. And he'll stay with the Phi. They can't believe it, the Tuatara. Is it fair to say, Casey, if this pace that the Phi play with by design is slower, it's the slowest in the league, as soon as the lead gets into double figures, it's hard to get back into a couple of gears and start chasing down that lead.
Well, it is a mindset, and you know, to make up leads like that, as Carol Hunt missed that shot out of the corner, you have to speed up your mindset, but that's not what they're trained to do. They still want to play deliberately, and maybe with a 10-point lead in the first half, you can come back from methodically. With 5 minutes to go, you got to pick up that work rate.
Riley finally misses. Hopoi has it stolen away. And Tuach has it. And puts it in. Those are the mistakes that the Phi just can't afford to have here in the fourth.
And 9th turnover of the game. And just jumping on that one enthusiastically was Tuach.
Pero Hunt's shot is off. Tip though. Whai get another offensive rebound.
5 for 24 from the three-point line now.
They have got 12 offensive rebounds. Hopaway with a 3.
Every time I mention the three-point shooting's bad, somebody hits one, so you better keep it up because that Hopaway hits a big one, his second of the ball game. And that's 6 for 25 overall. 24% now for the 5 from deep.
Mohammed, elbow 2, knocking it down. And we got a timeout for the 5.
Well, that's 15 points with 4 minutes to go. I think Coach Lacey's going to have that same talk when he comes back into this huddle. It is time for us to get moving. We need to get going, and we need to play better defense on that end. We can't let Luther Muhammad dribble into that mid-range. He's too talented a player. He's got 21 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, and he's shooting at a 56% clip. That offense has lifted so much in the half court with his inclusion.
When we bring it down with some fucking poise. Then we play hard once we get it over here. We don't need to run against 5 guys set up back here.
We think yellow, it's like a first 2 passes, then we go man. So we get our setup with the 2 low post. We get a high post catch, try to get a kill. If not, we can then run it off.
Yeah, listen, if they're in zone, yeah, play the 32, swing it around, swing it back, try to get short corner. And then if you notice they're in man, we play wide as shit. Strong's wide as shit. Let's go, boys.
71-56. Tuatara and the 5. 4:12 to go. Last game around 12 of the Sal's NBL. Crowd of over 1,600 at Eventfinda Stadium for this game. And Rob Lowe has entered the MVP chat. He's getting 9% currently. Mojave King. He's going to try and do dunks over Rob Lowe like that. You're going to get some game MVP votes, that is for sure. 5 ball, Hopaway. Rosetto. Pero Hunt. Knocks down another 3 for the 5.
Nice action, good speed as well. Didn't take much off the shot clock. And forward momentum going to the basket. If that help doesn't come, King's got the layup instead. He can kick it to the corner for the triple.
Fine need to stop. And they need to score in bunches here with 3:40 to go. Bogdanovic up high. Rob Lowe with 3 on the shot clock. They get that stop. Mojave King. Lost the handle. Is it poked away? Tuatara ball. Mojave King thinks differently.
I thought pretty solid defense by the Tuatara. He's trying to split defenders. There's going to be some contact. You know, there's always going to be that when you're trying to get to the hole. And then eventually goes off his leg. Tuatara need to do a better job offensively. The 5 have slowed things down again, but they're happy using the shot clock.
Muhammad. That rims out Hopaway. Tuach picks up the foul.
And he's just taking a whack at the arm there when he's dribbling down. Second personal for Tuach.
Sean Bairstow will come back in the game. Bazant will sit. Sharks Bulls next Sunday. That's your game on 5:30. Sky Sport 4.
We've got a couple more games between here and there.
Certainly do. What a slide it's been for the Bulls over the last few rounds. Harvey King again. Going up high, just couldn't get the finish.
It looked like a bit of contact, but no whistle forthcoming. Tuatara have been strong at the rim here in the second half, defensively.
Stays with the Tuatara, 7 on the shot clock.
Interesting how quickly Zach Riley has pushed his way into this closing group for the Tuatara. Wasn't with the team a few weeks ago. As we see Tuatara just Chuck that one.
Oh my.
And somehow goes off Fairstay's foot.
It's been that type of game for the Whai.
Timeout to the Tuatara.
Timeout to the Tuatara. Now, it hit the rim, right?
Yeah.
Does it count as a shot?
It doesn't matter if it's a shot, it resets the shot clock.
Fantastic.
So that'll be, it should be back to 14 seconds.
No. They're winding it down to 5 in the venue during this timeout.
Well, it definitely hit the rim. No, see, I think the officials are going to come over now and talk about that. Matt Lacey trying to let this squad know to play with a little bit. I've been just got to have some urgency here to close this game. Taking a look at the live ladder. And the Tuatara have not been in the top 6 for quite some time this season, but they're about to burst back onto the scene. If they can hold this scoreline where it's at, they'll be 7-7 at 50% winning percentage. The Whai will drop to 7-8.
The Whai started this game in 5th. If it continues like this for the Tuatara, they'll leapfrog up into 5th spot, the Whai. And then you just have to think about the Southland Sharks who'll dip out.
And the ball definitely hit the rim, but they're not resetting the shot clock.
Well, it was at 14.
I don't understand why they're not resetting it.
They wound it down to 5. Anyway, it's Tuatara ball on the baseline. We're underway. They have to get a shot up. Tuarch gets a clean look at it. Oh boy. Looking for the handoff to King. Good defense from the Tuatara. Oh boy, spinning. Low with the rebound. Rob has been immense today. That's his 11th rebound, 13 points.
Gets the double-double, 5 assists in there as well, 2 steals, 2 blocks, touching everything. And the Tuatara just going to work this shot clock down.
Under 2 here. He's trying to get Rosetto to pick up his 5th foul. And he's got a smile on his face about it as well. He's got 15 as well. Does Rob Lowe. Mojave King left it short. Rob Lowe gets the tip. It falls to King. And then Mojave King got hit. Mojave King, he's tried to do a lot in this game, and he spent a lot of time pleading his case with the referees. He has been hit, and he's been fouled. He's had contact, but he's just had a game where the whistle hasn't gone his way. He stayed in the fight, though, as he fires the ball to Pero Hunt. Bogdanovic with the rebound.
It's a big win for the Tuatara, sealing this one. Had they lost it, it would have been very, very difficult to make up that space in the Whai. There would basically been one less spot in the final 6 that they could get to, as we see Carter hopefully get the big block.
Slots it out of bounds. Stays with the Tuatara, 4.6 in the shot clock.
But with this win, the Tuatara not only get themselves into the top 6, but might be able to solidify themselves up a little bit higher.
Well, now you start looking at the games remaining for these guys. The Jets and the Saints on the road. 2 top 6 teams. The Sharks, who were a top 6 team before this result, they're 7th after this game. The Tuatara hang on here, and it looks likely. The Giants, whose season may or may not be over by the time the Tuatara roll into Nelson. Then they have to play the Jets again here at Eventfinda Stadium in the penultimate game of the regular season for the Tuatara. Then they're at the Hawks for the last game of the season.
I mean, to me, as Dylan Boucher looks on, to me that sounds like 4, maybe 5 wins. You know, you look at it.
Okay.
You're looking at it, the way they're playing right now, the way the other teams are playing in there.
Well, the good thing is, with all due respect, they don't have to go to Invercargill. That's a long way.
Hey, I'll tell you what.
From Auckland.
The difference between Invercargill in April and Invercargill in July is palpable when you're on the road, okay? It's a vastly different road trip.
It's literally 14 degrees.
I don't even call it the Southern Swing if it's not the middle of winter. Because
yeah, you don't.
That spring, that's just a spring swing. You might as well go down there on holiday.
Now for the Whai, their run home is even tougher. This is the first of 5 road games in a row. Rams, Saints, Nuggets, Sharks, all on the road. Then the Jets at home for the last game of the regular season. The Jets have a lot to do with these 2 teams coming up. 2 times they'll play the Tuatara, and 1 last time they'll play the Whai.
And Jets are fighting for some playoff positioning themselves. And dropping down to 4th, they have to be careful as Tuatara gets shoved out of bounds. Mo King was ready to go with it.
What is that, intentional?
Yeah, as a question of was it a basketball play or was it an intentional and unsportsmanlike? Where's the push?
I mean, that's just a foul. There's nothing untowards about that. You're allowed to get locked up.
Cam Glidden is giving the intentional, and Mo King is smiling at Cam Glidden.
Oh, they call the intentional.
They are calling the intentional.
You got another angle of that. I mean, yes, there's a push in the back, but from the late angle didn't show much. Not sure if we'll see it again, but Tuatara's off to the line, so that's going to be free throws and the basketball with 1:10 left.
It's Mojave's 3rd foul. 70 seconds to go in the game, and Tuatara knocks that down. So,
I mean, what's intentional about that? Well, but at the same time, you know, at the end of a game, as Tuatara hits the second, a game that's out of hand, you see that kind of physical activity. If you call it intentional, you're nipping something in the bud before it happens. There are some fiery personalities out there. You never know.
So intentional foul, 2 shots and the ball for the team. So it's 75-59. And the Tuatara will get a win here at home. It's been a season of up and downs. As Low and Tuatara can't get the bucket. Low gets the block on Rossetto.
Just love the work rate. You're up 16, minute left. You're still hustling to get back into the play, taking that shot away. Bairstow recognizes Rossetto a little bit late, enabling Rob Lowe to get that final block. And the Tuatara will just dribble this one out to the final couple of shots.
Tell you what this does. This does a really nice job of their points for and against, Casey. Because it hasn't been great for the Tuatara. Their points percentage is 95, which isn't, it's not great at all.
Yeah, of the groups that are fighting for those top 8 spots, it's down there towards the bottom.
It is. Bairstow misses. You look at, coming into this game, the Sharks at 93% points percentage, the Bulls at 94 below the Tuatara. The Whai, though, at 103, and the Airs at 102, so...
And the dark horse, the Nelson Giants at 101.
Yeah.
They got a long way to go, but if anything gives them a little bit of...
Shout out to their Rapid League team.
Rapid League team, get it done.
Another big win today for the Giants Rapid League team. The Giants get a big win this afternoon. They take care of business over the Manawatu Jets. And there, the door is ajar.
Especially, you know, the Tuatara get this one up to 20. Plus 20, plus what they did in the Rapid League today. That bumps them up a few percentage points.
I had the Giants in my 6th preseason.
Yeah, me too. And anything's possible.
I've still got plenty of basketball to come. Yeah, Mo King just didn't give him room. You got to give him at least a meter. He's got an intentional. Tom Bogdanovic is smiling. He's got an intentional and a technical foul in the space of 3 plays.
I'll tell you what, if a ref called that on me with 5 seconds to go, I would think he was coming for me.
He's done as well.
He's been fouled out on the tee.
Oh, man.
That is putting some salt into the wound.
I feel for you, man.
I'd be salty ass, man. Lacey's having a laugh about it.
It's just...
I'd be fuming. Steam would be coming out of my ears, bro.
I know you would. He just gave a thumbs up. Xander Masters in the game. Now, Brad Clive's having a word with Matt Lacey.
Mr. King straight to the locker room. He said, thanks very much.
And he misses the technical. It's been a pretty fast game, to be honest, Casey.
Well, not a lot of fouls.
Yeah.
Until these last couple of minutes.
I mean, just 9 for the Tuatara.
Yeah, and early on in the game, next to nothing, really. I mean, in the first half, there was less than 10 free throws total. The Tuatara have now been there 20 times on the day, up to 70% from the stripe. But the Phi, so dependent on those three-point shots, they shot 28 of them. Just not getting into the Chemist Warehouse stripe. Just 6 attempts from the line. The last of those came early in the third quarter.
Low to end the game. Can't get the roll, and that'll do it. 78-59, a 19-point win for Rob Lowe and the Tuatara. They get the job done on a Sunday afternoon here at Eventfinda Stadium. A good crowd in again for the Tuatara to see them get a win. It's been indifferent, but they've gone back-to-back with wins. They beat the Bulls in the same time slot last weekend, and they take care of the Phi. The defensive effort here, holding them to just 59 points in this game. Luther Muhammad and the Tuatara, 21 for Muhammad, 7 assists, 4 rebounds on 10 of 20 shooting. Rob Lowe had 15, 13 for Zach Riley, 11 for Vidanovic, and 10 for Tuach. For the Phi, it's Mo King with his 16 points, 12 for Pero Hunt, Bazant with 10, just 3 scorers in double figures. And Zach Riley is with Casey Frank.
Well, Zach, an impressive performance defensively to hold the Phi to 59 points today. What was the key to that effort on this end of the court?
I mean, we had a great game plan going into the game. We had great practices, and we executed really well. I think Tommy and Dan did really well pressuring the 4 and making it a difficult time for them to bring it up. So, yeah.
For yourself, you've come into the team and integrated so well, become part of the closing group at times. What's been the key to assimilating your skill set and helping lift the team's winning chances in a short amount of time?
Absolutely. I think we got a bunch of scorers on the team. We got Lou, we got Boy. I mean, we got some scorers. I need to come in and play some defense and, you know, close games out like that. I mean, it's just a blessing to be on this team. I think we're starting to click and hopefully get into the playoffs soon.
You got a sweet little Band-Aid there under the eye. How many stitches you get, and who do you blame, yourself or Tay Hardy?
I blame myself. That one was on me. I got 3 stitches, so yeah, we'll get them out tomorrow and look pretty soon.
I don't know if it can look pretty, Zach. Just jokes, bro. Appreciate it, Tom. Thanks for coming over.
Thank you.
Zach Riley finished up at college, and then he's come into this Tuatara team. He's part of the Huskies setup was Zach Riley, and he's come in and made a real impact. 13 points. He's developed his game. He's got size on him as well. A perimeter player. He can get to the cup and he can hit it from deep. 13 points today. And the trust that Cam Glennon has found in him is giving Tuatara great confidence to go into their bench. Dan Fotu off the bench as well. Solid game for him. And let's go to Casey, who's got Jaden Bazant with him.
Well, Jaden, a tough performance offensively. Never really found your flow on that end of the court. What do you think the key is to the Phi, finding a little bit more efficiency on that end down the closing stretch, especially with a lot of road games?
Yeah, I think we just got to stick to what's working for us, playing out of the corners, playing through our bigs, and just continue to be aggressive. Tonight, you know, didn't go our way, but yeah, we just got to stick to what we've been successful at.
As this Phi team goes to close, I think it's 4 straight games on the road out of your last 5 before you finish at home. What's the mindset of this squad have to be as you're fighting for a finals position in these hostile environments?
Resilience, you know, we only got 1 more home game, 4 road games, so we just got to be resilient, come in and work, finish the season strong, and, you know, try and get a few more on the road.
I appreciate it, Tom. Good luck moving forward, brother.
Yeah, tough game for Jaden Bazant and the Phi. And Bazant, 10 points, 36% from the floor, 2 of 5 from 3. The Phi, their pace isn't up there, and they've held teams to their level of push that they want to have. And it's always hard to rein in a double-digit lead in the second half. And the Tauranga Whai have their 3-game winning streak halted here at Eventfinda Stadium by the Tuatara, who go back-to-back wins in the standings and are now into the top 6 of the NZNBL. A bit more water to go under the bridge here in the regular season. A few more rounds to go. But you've got to feel pretty good about yourself if you're the Tuatara.
Well, let's take out the Chemist Warehouse stats. Take a look at the percentages. 32% from the field for the Phi, 25% from three. Neither team really been able to get it going. The Tuatara just 4 for 20, but able to overcome that. And that's because you look at that next stat, free throws, just 6 attempts for the Phi. Really dependent on that outside shot falling. It just didn't today. 20 attempts for the Tuatara. That's the key. Even on the rebounds, even on the steals. Ended up even on the turnovers as well.
It really was their offense was just, honestly, it was points from turnovers and second chance points. They had 29 points from turnovers and second chance points for the Phi. And so Zach Riley and the Tuatara get the win here. Their next game is on the road to Palmy. They play the Jets, and for the Phi, it doesn't get any easier. They've got to travel to Christchurch, and they head to play the Rams in Cal Stadium. And boy, Tuach and the Tauranga Whai fandom getting a nice close-up look with their favourite players here on the North Shore of Tamaki Makaurau. And Mojave King is with Casey Frank now.
Well, Mo, a tough day at the office. Offensively, just couldn't really find that flow. A lot of pressure on you as that head of the sword trying to get through. Defensively, what are the other options when they're sort of lining up, packing the paint against you like that?
Well, we got a lot of offensive weapons, so I need to do a better job of getting my shooters going early, finding them in their spots, and getting everybody feeling confident.
And I'd be remiss to say that you won the MVP vote in the Mix and Pick Tom poll today because of your aggressiveness. But when you look at the Phi coming down the stretch, 4 games on the road coming up, what's going to be the key to turning things around after this loss and finding that form that you had just discovered since your and Zach's inclusion into the lineup?
Yeah, well, I need to be better. I need to keep my head. I can't let things get to me, and I want to apologize to my teammates and the coaches. I can't get thrown out the game. I need to stay out here and help the team. So, we got a quick turnaround. We got a game on Wednesday against a good team. So it's just watching film, regrouping, and preparing for the next one.
Well, you did such a good job of returning the mindset in a short amount of time. You're not the only one to suffer from the affliction of the refs, but a great job attacking. Looking at the weapons, the offensive efficiency, I think for the Phi has another level to get to. You mentioned you have a lot of weapons, but what's the key execution-wise to reaching that next level and solidifying your chances in the final 6?
Yeah, I think it's just really, putting the work in practice. We're going to go back to Tauranga and we're going to put in work for this next game. We're going to get up shots, make sure we knock down a couple more. And I think when we're knocking down shots and we're on the rim, it's really tough for us to slow us down.
Appreciate it, Tom. Good luck going forward, brother.
Yeah, Mojave King. Tough game for him. He tried so hard as well. He really took it upon himself to push for the fight. 16 points, 35% shooting though, and 5 rebounds, 3 steals. He's got a bright future in the game of basketball. He's come in from Puerto Rico that season, and he's answered the call for the fight. He's a big part of the reason they come into this game with a 3-game win streak. They couldn't get the dub here, even though his game, as we've seen over the last few years, Mojave King has matured nicely. Part of the Breakers last season, and then he is on the radar of a lot of teams in this part of the world. This is how round 12 is shaped out. The Saints and the Bulls went at it at the Franklin Pool and Leisure Centre. Another loss for the Bulls. They have made a real bad slide down the standings outside of the 6. Sharks in the Airs, big win for the Sharks in Southland. And the Phi had a big win over the Giants, 102-84 on Friday night. Saturday, the Hawks couldn't handle what the Rams had cooking, 110 points. Nuggets had nothing for the Airs, unfortunately, and the Giants get a big win by 20 over the Jets. The Giants, well, they make a charge into the 6, and of course, the Tuatara here getting the win.
An impressive week of basketball for all comers, and that's the effect on the ladder. The Rams on top with a bit of space between them and the Saints. And then it's a big old fight for 3 and 4. The Airs holding that advantage right now, but the Jets, Tuatara Whai, are hot on their tails. That's the top 6, but outside looking in, the Sharks, the Bulls, the Hawks, all on 7 wins. And they need to, especially the Bulls and Hawks, need to find a way to change that form of late. The Giants, not dead yet.
Huge game for the Whai. They have to go to Christchurch to play the Rams. Big game from the Tuatara. They've got to go to Fly Palmy Arena and play the Jets, bouncing back from a Giants whipping. Then the Giants, can they get a win over the last place Nuggets? They'll really target that game as well. And then the Saints and the Tuatara will do it on Saturday night at TSB Arena, the waterfront of Wellington. Hawks Airs is big for both teams. Every game is big. The Bulls on the road in Southland. Can the Bulls close out a game?
That is the question for this Bulls team. They were up at second, 6 straight losses. Hal on the outside looking in. But today, it's the Tuatara with the big victory, 78-59, leaping into the top 6 and trying to get that final spot.
On behalf of Casey Frank and the Sky Sport crew, thank you so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. The Tuatara get the win, 78-59.
Here, we're going to hit that.